presentation of local high school sports, made possible by our community advertising partners.
Yankees versus Red Sox, Hatfields versus McCoys, Buckeyes versus Wolverines, Celtics versus Lakers, Coke versus Pepsi, Day versus Night, Cat versus Dog, Batman versus Superman, and tonight it is the Bulldogs of Centerville versus the Eagles in the East in what is single-handedly the most anticipated game of the season. We will surely have a packed house here tonight in a game where neither team can stand the other. We know both fan bases will show up and show out. We expect no different, but that is what makes rivalries. That's what they are all about. The tension, the energy, which is certainly palpable here tonight in Bon Aqua at East Hickman High School. I'm excited. Welcome and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to WNKX. Whether you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate your support. I'm Josh Copley alongside, as always, Cameron Peters, and we are thrilled to bring you tonight's presentation of high school basketball. Now, I did mention in a Facebook post earlier today that Facebook can be a little finicky, so if something does go wrong with Facebook, we encourage you to go to youtube.com, type in the WNKX page, and you can watch the live stream there. And while you're there, we encourage you to subscribe so that you can be alerted every single time WNKX goes live with a presentation. Our first game of the evening will be a matchup between the girls. We will see a Lady Dogs team that is coming off of a tough loss on Tuesday against Wayne County. The final score of that game was 50-66. And we will see a Lady Eagles team that is coming off of a victory 49-34 against Houston County. Now, more often than not, when East has won this year, they have won by a great margin. They beat Mount Pleasant 74-13. They beat Waverly 52-27. They defeated St. Cecilia Academy 69-28, and they won 66-11 and 74-25, both against Battle Creek. Now, while those scores sound great on paper, this Lady Eagle team is not without flaw. Their record sits at 9-7, and the Lady Dogs, they have performed very similar, and right now they sit at an 11-7 record. So tonight we will see a war of two 7-loss teams that sit above 500. But Cam, you can throw the record out the window in a rivalry. So what should we expect to see tonight?
Well, Josh, one thing I expected to see was you were naming rivalries and you pulled out Batman versus Superman. I was expecting Batman versus Joker. I figured you'd pull that one out. A little disappointed there, you know. Greatest villain maybe ever, outside of arguably Darth Vader. But irregardless, we are where we are. Rivalries are what they are. And tonight, you talked about it. You can feel it in the air. It's running through my veins, and I'm not even playing tonight. I'm ready to go. It is East Hickman versus Hickman County, and what could you ask for a better environment for a basketball game? I am ready to go. Tonight, Josh, the key, not just for Hickman County, not just for East Hickman, it is a universal, this game comes down to playing within yourself, right? The crowd is going to be crazy. If you don't play your game, if you don't play within yourself, it's going to be a bad result. It doesn't matter on what side, right? You have to play the basketball game that you know you can play, and that's gonna be what it comes down to tonight more than anything else we see.
Now, Cam, you mentioned at the beginning of your statement there that you were upset I didn't use Batman versus Joker. While that is a great rivalry, I try my best not to vilify one side or the other. See, tonight we are here on WNKX representing both East Hickman and Hickman County. And Cam, I know our viewers at home can't see me right now, but I'm wearing a purple tie, and the significance of that is because what is purple? It's a blend of red and blue. So we are sitting in the middle right now, and Cam, if you want to know how neutral I am, if you look underneath my eyes, the bags are purple. A mix of red and blue. Some say it's insomnia, sleep deprivation, not me. I say I just couldn't sleep last night because of how excited I am to see these two schools do battle here tonight. And Cam, I was talking to some friends of Ava Floyd earlier this week. there are some concerns. She is an incredibly talented young lady for the Hickman County Lady Dogs, but she hasn't played in an environment like this. She has not played in a rivalry like this. Hickman County versus East, it's talked about everywhere, right? Whether you're playing in Centerville, whether you're playing here in Bon Aqua, Cam, the nerves can become rattled very easily. So if you're Ava Floyd transferring in this year, how do you adjust to this environment?
Josh, she's a talented young lady. She knows how to play basketball. It's doing what she knows how to do. It's the same thing that I mentioned earlier, and it goes for Ava, exponentially, right? She's the leading scorer for the Hickman County Bulldogs. She has got to be able to carry this load in a rowdy crowd tonight, and it's not just her, right? Now, this East Hickman team is a very, very young team. One senior, one junior, right? Outside of that, they're very young. Now, there's quite a few freshmen. There's 5 freshmen on this team, Josh. Now, the East Hickman County rivalry is what it is in middle school, right? It is a rivalry. It is what it is. It gets exciting, but it does not match high school. High school is a different animal, right? So it's not, the pressure's on Ava to perform for the Lady Dogs, but for the Lady Eagles, it's these freshmen and these young girls that are getting a new experience in this for them to step up as well.
And Cam, we look at the rosters here. We know the seniors of Hickman County, Delaney King, Chloe Warren, Nola Kate Bentley. These 3 girls, they've been here before. They've played in this rivalry for several years. They know what it takes to win. So I think their leadership here tonight is going to be absolutely critical if the Bulldogs want to pull it out in front of a hostile crowd. But you mentioned the freshmen of the East Hickman Lady Eagles. Hickman County has also leaned on a couple of freshmen in their own right. We've seen a lot of minutes out of number 5, the freshman Carly Everett, and she can do it all, Cam. She plays tremendous defense. She hustles. She's a great shooter, and more than that, she is a confident player. And I could say the exact same thing about number 10, the freshman Tinley Davis as well. So I'm wondering how many minutes Coach Gordon wants to get these young ladies in a matchup as intense as this one is.
Yeah, Josh, you're going to see a new experience for these young ladies. And I think we're going to see how much – I can't gauge that, really, because in a game like this, you can't measure experience, right? You spoke on the seniors from Hickman County, and there's 3 of them. Now, the one senior on East, Ruby Cox, I've heard from my sources at East that she's a very versatile scorer. She's kind of their go-to. It is super valuable to have that senior mentality. She is now going to be around this game at least, twice a year? So she's been in 8 of these games, right? And, I see a big thing tonight for that young lady is going to be stepping up at her home court. Right, I think that's going to be a big thing tonight is how's the senior Ruby Cox going to answer at her home court, and then how are these seniors on Hickman County going to lead their team, right? Josh, let's be real. Both of these teams, super young, right? And if I'm a person in Hickman County, which I currently am, I'm excited to see this for the future, right? Because you have 2 young teams that you know are going to be competitive with leaders on each team who bring valuable assets. So, Josh, I think we're going to see a good one.
And, Cam, I want to take a step back a little bit. You mentioned the future. I think both of these schools, they have tremendous middle school coaching. Both of these teams have great middle school teams and great means of producing great talent. We know Ron Puckett has produced a lot of great talent from the middle school as far as the girls are concerned. And you can say the exact same thing about the East Hickman Lady Eagles in middle school as well. With Hobbs' coaching, they have had some phenomenal leadership and a phenomenal example to follow.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. When you get athletes in high school, a lot of times you see their growth in just athleticism and skill, right? But it's hard to grow foundation when they're in high school. The foundation should already be there. And for a lot of these girls, that foundation is there. So that just shouts out not just the middle school coaches, but the coaches before that, the parents that have spent time with them to improve them like that. These girls, you can tell, know what they're doing on the court on each side, and there's a foundation under both teams that I think people should be proud of. No matter what side of the county you're on, you should recognize that, hey, we have done a good job of producing these players in our county that know the game, and that's something to be proud of.
Now, Cam, I want to talk about these Lady Bulldogs this last Tuesday, right? Against Wayne County, it wasn't pretty. So in these few days that the Lady Dogs have had to prepare for this game here tonight against the very game East Hickman Eagles, what do you think the meetings look like over these last few days getting ready for tonight?
I think it's a lot of not worrying about what just happened, right, with Wayne County. Wayne County, they're good, Josh. They're really, really good at basketball. The young lady, Bogus, I believe was her name, she's going to Middle Tennessee State University. 20-point game. She got runner-up or second runner-up in Miss Basketball last year. So, there are those elements to that game. So that's one that you got to put in your past, right? And a game against, this game, unless you make it to the state championship game, arguably the most important game of the year, right? For Hickman County, this is the most important game playing at East. For East Hickman, I think the most important game is playing at Hickman County, right? And some people don't see it that way. Some people say it's more important to win at your house. I'm the other way around. I think it's way more important to go into somebody else's house and show them how it's done, right? And so that is what the focus was on, was going in to the toughest place you're going to play the whole year and playing your game. I'm sure Coach Gordon really went back, fine-tuned, went over what was going on for East Hickman. I'm sure they did the same, right? I'm sure it was a lot of film. If I'm coaching this game, I am locking myself in a room and just taking note after note after note. So I think it came down to a lot of preparation, honestly.
Absolutely, Cam, and I agree. And I want to go back to this East Hickman Lady Eagles roster. We talked about the one senior, Ruby Cox, who stands at 5'11". She is the tallest girl on this team. But if you look down the list, the second tallest on this team is a freshman, Willa Goebel. So, Cam, I'm wondering how many minutes will she get, even as a freshman, having that size advantage, which definitely can be used to shut down a lot of the offense of Hickman County. We know Ava loves to drive in the paint. If you have Cox and Gobble waiting, then it might be trouble for Hickman County trying to drive into the paint here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, this game, neither team has a ton of size. So size is going to play a factor, and either way you stack it up, I think this game is going to come less down to height and more about effort, right? You can make up a lot of size. Who comes to my mind is a guy like Charles Barkley back in the day, right? He was 6'4", 6'5", but, considered one of the greatest rebounders ever. So, height and size set aside, it's going to come down to effort.
Absolutely, Cam, and we are so close to game time. A reminder that the Hickman County Lady Dogs enter in tonight 11-7, but they haven't played a district game yet. Still 0-0 in the district. The East Hickman Lady Eagles come in tonight at 9-7, a very respectable record. They are 0-1 in the district. Folks, tip off just a few moments right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the Energy Pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters, and we are just a few moments away from tip-off here at East Hickman High School, where the Eagles are taking on the Bulldogs. Of course, first, we are starting off with the girls' game, and they're introducing the starting lineups right now. And Cam, I tell you what, right after the national anthem concluded, and it was a very beautiful rendition, I might add, a very difficult song to sing, it seemed like the floodgates opened from those doors, and it's about to be a packed house here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, totally expected. People will come out from wherever in the world to come to this Hickman County East Hickman game, as always, Josh. And that speaks to the community coming out, supporting what is going on in the community, and that's not to say that the people listening right now to us are not also participating in that. We are so thankful for those of you who are listening to us. Thank you for tuning in. But also, as you said, this crowd is going to be rocking tonight.
And Cam, what I noticed as East was introducing their starting lineups, they opened up first. Addie Fisher will be a starter here tonight, the 5'4" freshman who is their point guard. So Cam, we can expect her to be the primary ball handler. So I'm wondering if she will be the one matched up with Chloe Warren. And that could be a mismatch. We know Warren will have size on her, but she also has experience if we're going based on trends in the past.
Well, Josh, the people I talk to that regularly attend East games, Addie Fisher and Aubrey Fisher, sis twins, obviously super aggressive defensively. I've heard a lot of good things about those two young ladies. They get after it, diving on the floor, doing anything they can to win. So definitely going to be excited to watch those two, especially on defense. They're going to cause a lot of havoc.
And the starting five for the Lady Bulldogs: Nola Bentley, Ava Floyd, Zoe Chilton, Chloe Warren, and Delaney King. And it will be Delaney King at midcourt going to battle against Kelsey Capps, the sophomore. And the wait is finally over, ladies and gentlemen. The official tosses the ball in the air, and it is tipped, and the East Eagles will start off with possession. It's Ruby Cox who gives over to Fisher.
Now, Josh, the Lady Dogs that came out in a 2-3 zone, that's a little different than we saw against Wayne County, so I like the adjustment, making them shoot.
And that's Aubrey Fisher in the corner, knocking down the three. And East immediately turning it into a press, trying to make the Lady Dogs uncomfortable here early. Chilton looking for help, gives over to Bentley. Bentley across the way to King. King dribbles up at the right wing and has it knocked away by Cox and picked up by Addie Fisher.
And Josh, the Lady Eagles came out in a 2-2-1 press with Cox at the back. Having a good versatile defender at the back is super important. We saw that against Wayne County as well, so I'd like to see how the Lady Dogs adjust.
And a shot attempted there by Brooklyn Adams, no good. But East picks it up, and Fisher drives in, and she is fouled. And they will get Chloe Warren for the game's first foul.
And Josh, these Lady Eagles have come out ready to play tonight. They have not stopped going in a full sprint from the time they've started.
And a tough fadeaway there by Kelsey Capps, a marvelous shot. 5-0 Eagles here early.
And Josh, that's another name I expect to call a lot tonight is Kelsey Capps. The people I've talked to, they said she's a great scorer and typically their second option.
Well, Cam, that was just a beautiful fadeaway by Capps right there, and she's already proving the people that have told you these things correct. And Chloe has knocked out of her hand, but it goes out of bounds. The Lady Dogs maintain possession. Floyd looking to set up. The Lady Dogs looking for their first points of the game. Floyd drives in left-handed, puts it up, no good, but she's fouled, and that will send the young sophomore to the line.
Yeah, Josh, that was a fortunate foul there for Ava. She got down in a spot where it was tough to do something, but she got a foul call. Bit of a bailout, but it is what it is. She's at the free throw line looking to knock him down.
And Floyd knocks down free throw number 1 for the Lady Dogs' first point of the game.
Now, Josh, something I'm going to watch for tonight is how these refs, as Floyd knocks down the second, is how these refs kind of dictate this game. There's a loose ball. Ava Floyd jumped on it. It's a jump ball. It should be Hickman County's possession.
And it looked like that was Addie Fisher there. Took a little bit of a tumble, almost a turnover for the Lady Dogs. They forced the jump and get the possession. So Hickman County, a chance to capitalize and close the gap just a little bit. Chilton in the left corner, passes King underneath, puts it off the glass, no good. Tries to get her own rebound, but it's Ruby Cox that knocks it out of bounds. Hickman County will throw in from the baseline. Chilton finds Bentley, dribbles around the wing, pass, finds King. King drives, puts it up, no good, but she is fouled by Kelsey Capps.
And Josh, if that is a sign of things to come from these refs, they're going to call everything. There has been 2 very, very soft fouls so far. They might have had a meeting before, said, hey, we're not going to let this thing get out of hand.
King misses free throw number 1, and Cam, I think that's a great point you just made. We've seen in games prior where referees are lenient, especially with 2 rivals, elbows are thrown, and really it's just nasty all around. So kudos to the officials for trying to keep this game under control early. And King goes 1 for 2 at the stripe, making it a 5-3 game. And the Lady Eagles down the floor. They give it off. Deep 3, no good. That was Aubrey Fisher with the attempt. The Lady Dogs now moving it up the floor.
Now, the last 2 times, Hickman County has came out in a man-to-man press. They did that a lot the last game and got burned a few times on it. So I'm interested to see what will happen tonight.
And Floyd tries to drive in. I believe they call a jump ball, and that will be East Hickman basketball. So whether it was a jump, probably would have gotten her on a walk anyway. So East takes over. Kelsey Capps inbound. Finds Ruby. Now up the floor. It's a bit of a break for the Lady Eagles. Pass, nice bounce pass. Puts it for the 2 off the glass. No good, rattles around, and picked up by Zoe Chilton. Tough break there for the Lady Eagles. Now Ava slowing the pace down just a little bit, wanting to run the offense. Finds Bentley at the right wing. Gives off to Chilton up top. Floyd to Warren. Warren drives, kicks it. Bentley now to Floyd. Deep 3. No good. It's a scrap. King picks it up after the tip. Tries to give it off to Floyd, and she will be fouled. Hickman County maintains possession. And Cam, Delaney King, we've talked about her needing to be aggressive. A great job right there under the basket to pick up the rebound.
Yeah, Josh, these Lady Eagles, as Addie Fisher picks up her second, so we'll see her come out of the game. Two this early is tough. But as Floyd drives to the basket, throws one up.
That was a very aggressive layup attempt there by Floyd. Nothing going, trying to establish her own pace early. But Cox now with it for the Lady Eagles. Gives, it's the corner. That's Adams. Hands off to Cox at the right wing.
Now, Josh, Hickman County just switched to a man-to-man. And Chloe Warren is on number 23, Ruby Cox. We know that Chloe typically gets the tough assignment, so we see it again here.
And a deep 3, just short, rebounded by Floyd. And Cam, we talked to Ava several weeks ago. We said, what's the key to her rebounding, being as short as she is? She said, well, sometimes it just falls right to me. And that was an example of that right there. And Warren tries to drive. No good, couldn't get the and one. Tough shot attempt there, but she will be fouled and will head to the line. Kelsey Capps, the guilty party. So Warren at the line. The first free throw is good.
And Josh, that's going to be huge tonight for both teams. It's getting to that free throw line, but even more so than that, making the shots, right? In a game that's like this, with this type of energy, you have got to knock down free throws.
And Warren knocks down number 2, to your point, Cam. And Cox looking for help. Her teammates have abandoned her. She finds number 22, McKaylee Beecham, who has checked into the game. Loses possession, but picked up. Number 44, Hannah Manor, is also in the game for the Eagles. Cox wants to drive in, puts it up. What a layup by Ruby Cox, underhanded.
Oh, that's a tough shot right there, Josh.
A submarine layup from down under gets the Lady Eagles a couple of points, 7-5, your score in favor of East.
Now, Josh, I do want to note Kelsey Capps also had to come out of the game with 2 fouls. So 2 East starters out with 2 fouls right now.
And a tough mid-range shot by Floyd falls in. And Cam, that was the first Lady Dog basket that didn't come at the free throw line. So Cox now up top, dribbles in again, tries to pass it underneath. She found Brooklyn Adams. Hickman County faithful wanted to walk, but instead a foul called on number 20, Ava Floyd. That will be Floyd's first. And number 5, as we mentioned earlier, Cam, Carly Everett, the freshman, checking in for Delaney King. Let's see how the young buck can handle the atmosphere.
Now, Josh, I don't think that that's a bad thing because East has their reserves in as well.
And Everett with a takeaway. Welcome to the game. Finds Haley Gordon off the glass, and it's good. Give the assist to Everett. And Cam, right on cue, the freshman making her mark on this game as Hickman with their first lead of the game, 9-7. But here comes East looking to answer. It's Cox up top, met by Warren. Cox steps back. Gives to the left wing. That's Aubrey Fisher. Fisher drives to the basket off the glass, and it falls. East able to knot it up at 9.
That was a great job right there by Aubrey Fisher to get that big first step and blow by right there.
Everett from the corner. No good. Picked up. That was Manor who secured the rebound, but the Lady Dogs able to force a rebound. The possession arrow in favor of the Lady Dogs. Zoe Chilton at the baseline to throw it in. She finds Gordon, and Gordon dribbles it back, looking for help. Gives off to Everett beyond the right wing. Everett across the way finds Chilton at the left wing. Now to Floyd at the right wing. Tough pass finds Chilton, guarded by Cox. And a spin move there by Chilton, but she's met by Manor. No, that was not Manor. That was McKaylee Beecham. But it will be a turnover there on the Lady Dogs. The Eagles will inbound.
And Josh, that was a really good double there by the Lady Eagles. They saw Zoe Chilton get good position on number 23, Ruby Cox, down low. A double came, forced the turnover. So great job there by the Lady Eagles.
So the young Lady Eagles already making their mark in the game as well. Beecham tries to find Cox in the paint, but it's taken away by Chilton. It's a break. Bounce pass. Gordon along the baseline, spins, gives out to Everett. Puts up just shy of the three-point line and knocks down the 2.
Yeah, a great job there by Carly Everett to take the time, set her feet, and make that shot.
Very confident look there by Everett, her first bucket of the game. 11-9 your score in favor of the Lady Dogs. Cox up top, guarded by Warren. Passes it back to Fisher. Aubrey Fisher drives in, nice step, puts it up left-handed, won't fall, tough luck, picked up by Gordon. And Gordon dribbling hard, finds Floyd on Manor, puts it off the glass, no good. There's Everett, has it batted down. By number 21, Brooklyn Adams came flying in for the block. And a foul will be called on Chloe Warren. A lot of contact there, and it goes the way of the Eagles.
And Josh, that's a tough loss there for Hickman County this early in the game with Chloe Warren coming out of the game. Both teams have been in a bit of foul trouble at the start of this game.
Lauren Terlecki inbounds to Ruby Cox, passes it back. As Terlecki dribbles up, guarded by Everett, tries to find Cox in the paint. A beautiful pass and a marvelous spin move to pick up the and one. And that was a phenomenal move by Ruby Cox.
Josh, that was nasty, dude. That was absolutely
And Cam,
a
on
play.
top of that, they get number 20, Ava Floyd, with her second foul. So a lot of playmakers being called for fouls here early.
Yeah, Josh, something I've noticed, Ruby Cox has been very ball dominant in this game, and she is the senior. She's the one entrusted with doing so. She's been very impressive to me, Josh. You usually don't see a young lady of her stature have as good of handles as she does. She has a great handle on it.
And tries to find Gordon, does Chilton on the bounce pass, but it's knocked away by the freshman Terlecki out of bounds. Hickman stays in possession. So the Lady Eagles playing some good defense, and Floyd tries to find Chilton, but Cox takes it away. And a jump ball forced by the Lady Dogs after a near turnover, and the possession arrow will stay the way of the Eagles.
Now, Josh, every time these air conditioning things balloon up and pop, it scares the crap out of me. I just want everyone to note that. If you hear a big noise and then air go, pow, I'm just as scared as you are.
Terlecki with the ball up top, tipped by Gordon, but still finds the target of Aubrey Fisher. Fisher goes back to Terlecki as she tries to set up the offense. Gives back to Fisher. Fisher over to Manor. Play goes across the way. Manor is wide open at the right wing and makes Hickman County pay with a wide open three. Extends the lead, 15-11, Lady Eagles. Floyd gives, Gordon dribbles around, goes across the way, it's Everett. Step back, pump fakes, gives to Gordon mid-range, no good. And Gordon tips it away, but can't save it as it hits the baseline, and it will be a turnover. Lady Eagles will take possession as Delaney King checks in for Carly Everett.
Now, Josh, you can tell that there's a lot of energy in this building because both of these offenses have not necessarily found their groove, and it's like as Cox to end the quarter misses the pull-up jumper. Great take there. You can't ask for a better look. But I expect both offenses as the game to go on to be more prominent, right? We had a 15-11 first quarter. I don't expect to see that.
So a lot more game to be played. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar,
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. A very quick intermission there between quarters. And we are just about ready to begin quarter number 2 here in Bon Aqua at East Hickman High School. The Lady Eagles lead 15-11 over the Lady Bulldogs. Hickman will start this quarter off with possession. Chilton inbounds to Floyd.
Now, Josh, we've seen a lot of Ruby Cox and Aubrey Fisher because they've been in such foul trouble at the start of this game. Those two young ladies, though, are making things happen. They are playing exceptional in this game.
And a little bit of miscommunication there on behalf of the Lady Dogs. Gordon there leaves her feet, forces the walk. And Cam, I think a lot of this game for the Lady Dogs will be weathering the storm, right? A lot of what's been happening, I think they can get a little bit rattled by the noise, by the crowd. And that goes for a lot of the young ladies, but as well as the older ones as well. So if they can settle in, this game can definitely go either way. And Cox, left corner three, no good, too strong. Rebounded by Beecham, puts it up, no good. King has it ripped away by Aubrey Fisher. Gives out to Terlecki. Terlecki drives, puts it up off the glass, no good. And Chilton gets the rebound. So a chaotic sequence as Zoe brings it left side of the floor, tries to find Gordon. It's taken away by Manor. Cox to Terlecki. Finds Beecham, and it's swatted down by Chilton and picked up by Floyd. Floyd trying to fight her way out. And she is being swarmed, and there is no call. It looked like she might have gotten popped in the nose there, Cam, as Chilton drives in, loses handle, and it was knocked out of bounds by the Eagles.
And Josh, That is what you want to see out of the East versus Hickman County game. Is it be a little physical, a little wild. Josh, what's a rivalry without a little contact?
And another takeaway, and Gordon tries to take it away from Ruby Cox, but she will be fouled.
And that should be number, it's the first on Haley. But both teams have been, now, whether this is due to the refs or not, both teams have been a little foul happy. Now, I would say it's a little bit more to do with the refs than it is to do with the play, just making sure things don't get out of hand. But either way, foul happy in this first few minutes.
And Manor pulls up from the right wing. 3, no good. A nice box out by King, gets the rebound. Quickly tries to find Chilton, and it's taken away again by the Lady Eagles. So Cam, it looks like when the Lady Dogs get the ball, they just panic very quickly. They're immediately looking for an outlet, and more often than not, they found the wrong target.
Yeah, Josh, you know, they're just beating themselves right now. They're not making the right decision or one that takes time.
A nice takeover of the Lady Dogs. Floyd pulls up from the free throw stripe. It's good.
And Josh, that was a great job there by Ava Floyd to take what the defense is giving you, right? She was not being pressured to make a decision. Take that pull-up jumper. She trusted. Great take.
So that makes the score 15-13. Lady Eagles still in the lead. Terlecki dribbles, hands off to Aubrey Fisher. Now gives over to Beecham. Back, a deep 3 by Fisher. A lot of arc and no good. Picked up by King, and she will be fouled. Hickman will maintain possession. And Cam, great job by King there again to use her size to her advantage.
Yeah, Josh. I think both teams are doing a really good job of limiting the offensive rebounds against them. Hickman County has given up a few more than East, but both teams are doing a great job taking care of the boards.
Warren drives, gives out to Gordon. Now on the baseline, has it knocked out of bounds by Terlecki. And Cam right there. Ruby Cox guarding a charging Chloe Warren. That's the matchup that I was waiting to see this week.
Yeah, Josh. What I've been super impressed with so far is East looks like they have a plan on offense. Hickman County, I'm not going to say they don't have a plan, but they do look a little rattled. I'll look to see if they will settle in, because if they don't settle in, it's going to be a long game.
King in the left corner, swarmed by Beecham, tries to dribble in, loses handle. But they'll say King was fouled. That's Beecham, the guilty party. That will be her second. Just over 5 minutes left in the first half. 15-13 still your score. Special thank you to John Michael Lewis, our producer for the evening. Bounce pass, Floyd, corner 3. Knocks it down. Lady Dogs back in the lead. And that was a tough contested 3. Good defense there by the Lady Eagles, but sometimes you have to tip your hat.
Yeah, Josh. And Hickman County just switched back in to a man-to-man defense. We're going to see that match. We're going to see that on both sides of the court now.
It's the corner. Terlecki tries to answer with a 3, and she does. Big corner 3. And it looks like number 21, Brooklyn Adams, is preparing to sub back in for the Lady Eagles. Floyd crosses the midcourt logo. Guarded by Aubrey Fisher. Dribbles in, screen by King. Floyd wants to take it herself, but loses handle. And Adams now checking back in. She will go in for number 22, McKaylee Beecham. Cox met by a couple of Lady Dogs. Now Terlecki dribbles, gives over to Manor, now back to Terlecki. She wants to dribble into the paint, loses the handle of it, and it goes off her leg. Turnover, Lady Eagles, possession, Lady Dogs.
Now, Josh, this young lady Terlecki, she knocked down a huge 3 earlier, but I've been impressed with how she's handled pressure while she's driving. She's done a really good job being a freshman and not being very big of handling the pressure that comes with driving in the lane. She's done a good job.
And a nice move by Floyd. Tries to go to the bucket. Shot is no good, but she will go to the free throw line. They will call the recently subbed in Brooklyn Adams on the foul.
Josh, that was a great hesitation move there by Ava Floyd. Giving her that little hezzy, making her jab the other way and driving by. That looked really good.
So a couple of big free throws here early in this game for Ava Floyd, a chance to tie it up. The free throw number 1 is good.
You know, Josh, something underrated that I was not necessarily expecting to be impressed with, but I definitely am, has been the ball handling tonight, right? Ava Floyd, good handles. Chloe Warren, good handles. But Ruby Cox as well. She has a great handle on it, as well as Aubrey Fisher and Lauren Terlecki, both of them. So I've been impressed with the ball handling tonight, honestly.
Both teams, with the exception of a few fouls, have been playing very clean basketball. Aubrey Fisher gives off to Terlecki as she's met by Chilton. Gives the right wing. Floyd there to greet her. Oh, and tries to find Cox, but Warren, and a nice job by Cox to stay with it. Warren almost had a big takeaway, what would have been a free break to the basket, and Bentley knocks it loose, but Cox again stays with it, and the officials will call a foul on Nola Bentley. And Cam, that was some phenomenal wherewithal by number 23, Ruby Cox there. She had a couple of Bulldogs coming all around, trying to knock the ball loose. You have to give props.
Yeah, Josh, I've been so impressed with her attitude in this game. She knows she's a senior. She knows she's the only senior on this East Eagles team, and she's come in saying, this is my game. Let me play my game and take it over.
Off the glass, too strong, picked up by Ava Floyd. Floyd up the floor, now crosses over in the middle of the court. She takes it herself, off the glass, and it's good. A tough bucket there by Ava Floyd. And Cam, what I noticed there, it looked like Floyd just caught the Eagles off guard, like they weren't ready for her to come storming into the paint.
Yeah, Josh, I've seen that a couple of times. The help side defense fall asleep, and it's not just the Eagles that are doing it. It's the Bulldogs as well. Right there you see fall asleep on help side, not getting a rebound.
Aubrey Fisher tries to go off the glass. No good. Chilton there to pick up the rebound. And a foul is called on the Lady Eagles. They will get Lauren Terlecki. That is Terlecki's first foul of the game. So Floyd up the floor very methodically. And Cam, what I've noticed about this game that's different than any other game we've called this year, there's a band here tonight. Definitely adds to the atmosphere.
That plus there is an ESPN station down there. I think they're trying to steal our jobs down there in the pink suit.
And they'll call a charge on Ava Floyd. No, they will call a foul on Zoe Chilton offensively off the ball.
It must have been some sort of illegal screen or push off in some way to get that call.
Terlecki met by Chilton. Both women at the midcourt logo. Terlecki barking orders, trying to set up the offense. Now dribbles around Chilton. Now hands off. It's Manor trying to find Cox. Now the corner, Terlecki again. And again she sinks it. The freshman has been on fire from the corner for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, Josh, I'm really impressed with her. That was an aggressive take right there with Chilton right in her face, but nonetheless knocks it down.
And Floyd dribbles in, tries to pull up from mid-range, no good. And that'll go off of Chloe Warren. So East Eagle ball. And Cam, what I've noticed the East Eagles are doing a lot in the paint, they're utilizing their speed. Like right there, Terlecki on Chilton, a bit of a mismatch. Of course, Terlecki, the faster player, and she made him pay. And Cox loses a handle on it, picked up by Floyd. Floyd driving, step off the glass, no good. But she is fouled and will go to the line with a chance to tie the game. And with just under 90 seconds to go in the first half, the Lady Eagles lead by a point, 21-20.
Now, Josh, again, I'm going to reiterate how important it is to knock these down for both teams tonight. If you can get free points, you have to pick them up.
And free throw number 1 by Floyd is no good. Carly Everett checking back into the game for the Lady Dogs in favor of number 0, Delaney King. As King will be able to get some much-needed rest as Floyd knocks down the second free throw, so she goes 1 for 2. The Lady Dogs being very aggressive on defense. Terlecki goes past Chilton. Finds Cox left side of the floor. Now back to Terlecki up top near the logo. Met by Everett. Now gets to the left wing. It's Aubrey Fisher. Fisher pump fakes and drives. Mid-range. Well short. Chilton got a hand on it. Adams tries for the putback, but it's picked up by Everett, and Everett will be fouled. So Cam, we've already seen that the story of this game will be the young bucks from both teams. The freshmen, the sophomores, they are making their presence felt, maybe not even in the scoring department, which we've seen them do, but in the hustle department, in the grit department, and that it cannot be understated here tonight. And with that foul, not a shooting foul, but will send Carly Everett to the line all the same.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. I mentioned it in the pregame. It's effort is such a big factor in your effectiveness in basketball, right? It doesn't matter what you do. If you're not giving your best effort, you will get beat. It doesn't matter how much talent you have.
And Everett goes 2 for 2 on free throws. The Lady Dogs now lead 23-21, just over 60 seconds to go in the first half. Finds Adams, met by Bentley. Dribbles in, it's Manor in the corner, back up top to Terlecki. Fisher desperately calling for the ball and gets it, but Floyd there to crash quickly. Now Terlecki goes around Everett and hands off to Manor. Manor to Aubrey. Now finds Cox, dribbles in, but has to go back across the way to Terlecki near the left wing. Now it's the corner, Aubrey Fisher, dangerously close to that sideline. But some more ball movement here by the Eagles, trying to run some clock. Adams has an open look, finally decides to take it. Way too much hesitation there, Cam, and I think she might have doubted herself there for just a moment.
Yeah, Josh, shooting is a lot about rhythm. You look at guys that have incredible range. Part of that, them being able to make it, is rhythm, Josh. So no matter what you do, it's a hard time to shoot in rhythm. She wasn't really in rhythm there, and I think that's a part of the reason why she missed.
Corner three by Bentley. No good, off the rim. Everett rips it away and picked up by Warren. Finds Floyd off the glass. No good. That shot may not have counted anyway. It would have been very close. But that brings us to the end of the first half. And, folks, it has been a phenomenal ball game here. No matter who you root for, you can respect some good basketball at the end of the first half. Lady Dogs 23, Lady Eagles 21. 1 half to go to decide a winner. We'll be back after this intermission.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists?
That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago Tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. We are about less than 2 minutes to go until the second half resumes here in Bon Aqua at East Hickman High School. And Cam, what a game it has been so far, back and forth. Your score right now, Hickman County 23, East Hickman 21. Absolutely anyone's game, Cam. I could not predict a winner if you made me. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these girls finish out, because we've seen a lot of talented players make a lot of impressive plays, going both ways. I mean, the play of the game so far, without a doubt, goes to number 23, Ruby Cox, and that underhanded layup falling down the and one, got the crowd fired up. That was a phenomenal play. We've also seen some great plays the other way. Some jumpers from Ava Floyd, a big three-pointer. We've seen Carly Everett get involved, Haley Gordon, a big two. But the Hickman County Lady Dogs have been doing a good job at taking advantage from the free throw line. Right, Carly Everett's made a couple of free throws. Delaney King's made a free throw. Ava Floyd's made several. Chloe Warren knocked down a couple. And I think the little things like free throws go a long way to deciding games, as you were talking about in the first half of our broadcast.
Yeah, Josh, the Lady Eagles haven't really been to the free throw line that much. And to be, for the Lady Dogs to be up going into the second half, I think totally attributes to that. And that alone is being that good at the free throw line and going enough times for that to make a difference. Great job by them making it, or taking it and making it. But something I plan to see more is Kelsey Capps and Addie Fisher. They both came out with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. That is two of their big-time starters, and they were out most of that quarter, or most of that half, and we're in a two-point ball game. So, I wonder how things are going to change, because without a doubt, I'm sure that they're going to want to make an impression on this game as soon as they can.
Definitely, Cam, and we are ready for second half basketball as East Hickman will begin with possession. Ruby Cox inbounds to Addie Fisher. To your point, Cam, didn't play a whole lot in the first half, but is back here to start the second. Gives over to Aubrey. Fisher tries to find her target in the paint. It's no good. That was Caps trying to get the two, and rebounded by the Lady Dogs. Bentley at the left side of the floor, and she walks. So, Cam, it looked like there Nola Bentley just not expecting the pass.
Yeah, Josh, and when you're in transition, you have to be ready for that to come your way. Got to be heads up, locked in a game like this.
And Addie Fisher takes it all the way to the rim, no good. Rebounded, and Fisher fouls Floyd from behind.
That's a tough.
And Cam, to your point, it's tough to have to sub out as it looks like Lauren Terlecki is ready to go back in. But that hasn't affected the Lady Eagles too much. I mean, Terlecki has done a great job in the stead of Addie Fisher.
Yeah, Josh, she absolutely has. She's come in, she's knocked down a couple of threes, been a big difference maker.
So the subs are in. It is indeed Addie Fisher subbing out for Lauren Terlecki. Floyd with the ball, crossing the stripe. Pass, corner. Bentley loses a handle of it, but regains possession, guarded by Terlecki. Gives off up top to Chloe Warren, who drives in, kicks out. Bentley from three. No good, short. Rebounded by number 21, Brooklyn Adams. It's a breakaway. Terlecki puts it up, short, no good. But Bentley with the foul. And Cam, something that Nola Bentley's doing that you have to watch out for is getting visibly frustrated. Right, you have to remain calm, cool, and collected, and know you're a talented ball player who can make some big-time plays.
Yeah, Josh, this game is all about staying within yourself as a single person playing your game, as a team playing your game. You got to stay within yourself.
Terlecki knocks down free throw number one, number two on the way. It's no good, kicks off left. Oh, and it goes out on Zoe Chilton. So it looked like Chilton King battling one another for the ball, and that'll cost the Lady Dogs as the Eagles will get the ball right back. Terlecki to inbound. Goes beyond the perimeter to Aubrey Fisher. Fisher to Terlecki. Dribbles to her left, gives over to Fisher again. Dribbles past Floyd, puts it up, no good, but a foul will be called.
And Josh, this was happening in the first half a lot, but Zoe Chilton, a primary post player, a 4 for the Lady Dogs, has been guarding Terlecki for a lot of the time that she's been out there as Aubrey Fisher misses the first. That's a weird matchup to me. You have a primary ball handler in Terlecki being guarded by Zoe Chilton, and that's a matchup I'm going to be interested in watching and see if Coach Gordon changes things up or what.
So the second free throw falls in for the Lady Eagles. We're all tied up 23-23. Just under 6.5 to go. Bounce pass finds Chilton. Guarded by Ruby Cox, handoff to Floyd. Floyd step back three, off the mark to the left. Rebounded by Aubrey Fisher. Terlecki with the ball up top. Pass, the right wing. It's Aubrey Fisher, met quickly by Floyd. Now up top, Cox dishes over to left wing. Dribbles in as Terlecki. The shot is no good. Rebounded by Chilton, who hands off to Floyd as she comes up the right side of the floor. Gives, Warren drives, no good, denied by number 4, Kelsey Capps. Now it's Cox up the floor, spin move. Pass out of the corner, it's Aubrey Fisher. No, it's Capps rather in the corner who travels, and it will be a turnover.
Yeah, Josh, just silly mistakes on both ends right now, trying to settle back in this game. Both teams are having trouble finding their footing.
You would think the halftime break was 6 hours, Cam. It has been definitely a rough start for both of these teams, but plenty of time and plenty of talent on this floor. Gordon now to Everett. Dribbles in. Gives it back out to Floyd, who loses a handle but maintains a tough pass. Puts it off the glass. No, not off the glass, but it rattles in for Chloe Warren. And that was a phenomenal pump fake there by Warren to get Ruby Cox to bite.
Yeah, Josh, great patience there by Chloe Warren. That's the presence of mind knowing and the experience of knowing.
Now it's Fisher on Floyd, corner. It's Capps, pump fake on Everett, dribbles in. Tries to hand off to Cox, nothing there, but she picks it back up. Now it's Adams, the left wing. Dribbles around and hands off. And a tough pass to Terlecki heading into the paint, and she's fouled.
Now, Josh, something that I've noticed tonight that just piqued my interest is how the Hickman County Bulldogs are guarding Ruby Cox. They are doubling her when she's off the ball, but when she has the ball, they're playing her straight up. I find that just very interesting, but it's working because she's touching the ball less.
And Chilton tips it away, but picked up by Cox, and Cox pulls up deep three, a line drive, no good. Off the rim, rebounded by Gordon. It's past the baseline corner, it's Chilton. Tough pass to Gordon, off the glass, no good. And it's a scrap for the ball, picked up by Terlecki. Tough break there for the Lady Dogs. And the Eagles with a chance to tie this game or take the lead as they trail by 2, 23-25. Terlecki loses handle, picks it back up, hands off to Adams. Now it's the corner. Aubrey Fisher with Floyd in her face, no good. And Capps tries to save it with a Herculean effort, but they'll say her foot on the baseline, Hickman County basketball.
And Josh, even with that miss there from Aubrey Fisher, I have been so impressed with that young lady tonight. The way she shot it, how effective she's been, and her energy that she's bringing.
Floyd tries to fit one in to Chilton, nothing there. And Cox in the breakaway step, puts it off the glass, and it's good. We are all tied up at 25. And Cam, Ruby just seems so confident, whether she's one-on-one, double team, take it right to the basket. And Floyd tries to do the same, but she has it batted out of bounds, and will stay with Hickman County.
Yeah, Josh, you can tell Ruby Cox is very experienced. She has not, her demeanor has been the exact same in whatever situation happens. Been very impressed with her tonight.
Warren dribbles in, tries to hand it off to Ava Floyd, who was on the baseline, not even in bounds. So another costly mistake there by the Lady Dogs.
Yeah, Josh, whatever you do there, driving toward your own player is not the move. That's going to cause a double to come, and it's going to make a turnover happen. There's a turnover for Hickman County.
Floyd tries to go up and over. Ruby Cox to no avail, but Everett picks it up mid-range, knocks it down. And Cam.
Josh, great job there by Carly Everett to just sit there and take what's given to her. That's twice tonight.
Finds Beecham and Gordon with the rundown, knocks it away, but they will get Gordon on the foul. Beecham will go to the line to shoot 2. And Cam, Everett, so poised beyond her years, right? A lot of Lady Eagles surrounding her, knocks down that mid-range shot like it's nothing.
Yeah, Josh, so impressive, her being a freshman and doing that. But right there, great job by, Haley Gordon. I apologize. Great job by Haley Gordon there, hustling down the court and being there to pick up the young lady to make her shoot at the free throw line.
And Beecham goes 0 for 2. Caps gets the rebound, tries to toss it up to Cox. Warren on the baseline, puts it off the glass, and it's good. So Ruby Cox able to tie it up after the 2 missed free throws by Beecham, 27-27, and a timeout is called.
And Josh, that was a nasty crossover there by Ruby Cox. Getting Chloe to bite up top, cutting it back to the baseline. Great job, and a good job staying calm and knocking it down.
So as the coaches talk things over, we hope you all watching at home have been enjoying the stream so far. As we mentioned earlier, Facebook can be a little finicky, so if something does go wrong there, we encourage you to go to youtube.com, type in the WNKX YouTube page, and there you will find the live stream as well. And while you're there, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that way you're alerted every time we go live with a presentation of Hickman County sports. And Cam, even with the packed house already for the girls' game, people continue to file in. I noticed just now who walked in, new teacher at Hickman County High School, Harrison Kelly, who is rarely attending these athletic events, but the game is so big, even he will show up here tonight.
Yes, Josh. Harrison promised one game that he would come to. I was told this by a couple of students. Harrison promised one game, and he lived close enough that he agreed that this would be the game because it's such a big game. If Harrison agrees to watch a basketball game, you know it's a big deal.
So we are now ready out of the timeout. Warren dribbles in, nice bounce pass to Gordon, can't cap it off. Caps gets the rebound. And she is called for a walk as she was trapped in the corner by Warren and Gordon. So some nice defense there by the Lady Dogs. A reminder, your score 27-27. We're all tied up, 2:46 left in the third quarter. Floyd's inbound, bounce pass to Warren. In the corner, Beecham guarding, gives out. Everett, the American sniper from deep, just short, picked up by Caps, and it's a breakaway. Warren chasing down and knocks it loose. And it will go out of bounds on Warren. What a tough defensive play there by number 23.
Josh, I thought that I was watching, if you will remember, DK Metcalf 2 years ago ran down, I can't remember who, but it was
Buddha Baker.
Buddha Baker going for a big 6, ran him down for 98 yards? That looked like Chloe Warren right there.
Caps left-handed layup, and a beautiful layup by Caps. So the Eagles now back in front, 29-27. Floyd gives to Gordon. Gordon dribbles in, kicks out. Warren out of Chilton, guarded by Cox. Tough bounce pass, Everett dribbles in, puts it up, and in, it falls. Gets a beneficial roll there, and we're tied once again.
To stay in that rhythm in order to make that shot is so difficult, Josh. Great job there by Carly Everett to knock that down.
And Addie Fisher from 3. Welcome back to the game, number 1, as she gives the Eagles a 3-point lead, 32-29.
And Josh, that's somebody we haven't seen a lot of tonight because she's been in foul trouble. But you know she, at some point, was going to make an impact on this game.
And Everett looked to pull up but doesn't. Guarded by Caps, gives out to Floyd, who's met by Aubrey Fisher. Touch pass. Warren dribbles in on Cox, and Cox swats it down, but she's called for the foul. Too much contact, and that will send Chloe Warren to the line.
Now, Josh, it might have been too much contact for the ref, but personally, I think that was a pretty clean block there by Ruby Cox. But nonetheless, Chloe Warren goes to the line. She's got to capitalize.
And Warren misses free throw number 1. And Cam, we know basketball being a sport that benefits the taller, the bigger player, but that can be a downside. And Warren knocks down free throw number 2 as she goes 1 for 2 at the line.
Yeah, Josh, Ruby Cox had to come down on Chloe Warren to do that. Typically when you swipe down, as we've talked about a number of times, you get called for that foul because of that, and I think that's what we saw there.
Aubrey Fisher gives mid-range shot by Caps, no good off the mark, picked up by Ava Floyd. And Floyd checking her peripherals, dribbles in, mid-range, floater, no good. Picked up by the Lady Eagles, and Caps keeps it in play. A nice play to pass it off to Addie Fisher. Now to Cox at the free throw line, gives over. Back to Fisher, now back beyond the perimeter, tough pass. Caps, mid-range, an incredible shot by number 4. To extend the lead to 4 points, 34-30, as Nola Bentley prepares to check back in for the Lady Dogs.
Now, the Lady Dogs, how are they going to answer these Lady Eagles? The Eagles have looked like they have now settled in on offense. How do you counter?
And the mid-range shot, no good by Ava Floyd, but number 3, Aubrey Fisher, is called on the foul. She got a piece of Floyd's right arm, and that will send number 20 to the free throw line with some big free throws on the way. And she makes number 1. And Chloe Warren and Zoe Chilton checking out for the moment for Nola Bentley and Delaney King.
Now, Josh, what is going to be the answer now that Chloe Warren's out of the game? What are they going to do about Ruby Cox? Hickman County, Chloe Warren has done such a good job on her tonight. Now, Ruby, amazing scorer we've seen. She knows the game well. She knows her game very well, which is very impressive. But right now she's got a mismatch with Chloe out. How can they capitalize on that in these few last seconds?
So Cox with the ball, top left, met by Bentley. 15 seconds in the third quarter. Eastland going to wind it down, take the final shot. Cox drives, but dribbles back out. That's Addie Fisher, met by Floyd. Gives. Cox has to get back out to Addie Fisher. 3 seconds. Pulls up from deep. No good. A line drive there falls just short by Ruby Cox. And with 8 minutes to go, anyone's ball game. East Hickman 34. Hickman County 32. This will come down to the wire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists?
Good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. 8 minutes remain in this contest. The Eagles are currently up by 2 points, but Hickman County will start the quarter with possession, as Floyd will be met by Adams. Now it's Bentley at the left wing, met by Aubrey Fisher. Finds Gordon looking for help, gives it back to Floyd, dribbles in, mid-range shot, no good. And it's a war for the ball as Haley Gordon, under a pile of Eagles, is able to pick it up.
I mean, for Haley Gordon to get in there and to even touch the basketball with 3 Eagles around her down low, what else could you ask for? I mean, that was incredible hustle by that young lady.
So Addie Fisher now with the ball at the right side of the floor. This game will be decided, no doubt, by some big defensive stops here late. as Cox, met by Bentley, gives to Addie Fisher. Tough pass to Caps, dribbles in, puts it up, short, but she's fouled by King.
Yeah, Josh, how many times have we talked about it this year? Those things will not be called a foul if you keep both hands up. Delaney King had a hand there on her hip, on Mrs. Cap's hip. You have got to get your hands up if you don't want that to be called a foul. But great job there by Kelsey Caps to stay with it and knock down the first.
There's a big free throw here, the difference between a one-score game or a two-score game. And Caps knocks it down. So a clutch free throw there by Caps. And Hickman County looking to respond. Just under 7.5 minutes now remaining in the game. Floyd dribbles in on Adams. Spin move. Tough mid-range shot off the glass, and it falls. And Cam, it just impresses me how these shots fall for Ava Floyd.
Yeah, Josh, you know, a part of it is the presence of knowing the location of the rim.
And Gordon,
great job there by Gordon to get in the passing lane.
Bats it out of bounds, almost a huge takeaway, and what would have been a breakaway, which could have tied this game up.
But something that Floyd does possess that, you know, I've been impressed with all year is her floor presence and knowing where she is. You don't make that shot without knowing exactly where you are on the floor in relevance to the rim.
Screen set, Caps now picks up the pass. No good, too strong. And they'll say it goes out of bounds on Brooklyn Adams. And Hickman County will take over possession. And a big offensive possession this is for the Lady Dogs. You never want a game, especially this late, to get too far out of reach, especially considering the talent that you face on the other end of the floor. So Floyd met by Adams. Dribbles it right. King looking to set a screen. Floyd dribbles around. Mid-range, no good. Rebounded by Cox, and Cox gives it back out to Aubrey Fisher. So missed opportunity there for the Lady Dogs. Now Addie Fisher with the ball, met by Floyd. Spin move gives a deep three. Off the rim, no good, but Cox picks up the offensive board. Gives to Adams. Adams over to Aubrey Fisher. Crashed on quickly by Haley Gordon. Now Cox and Nola Bentley being disruptive in the face of Ruby Cox, and Gordon swats it out of bounds. They were looking for Aubrey Fisher there in the corner.
Now, Josh, something that we have seen pretty much since probably 5 minutes in the first quarter has been a man-to-man defense. Both teams stopped pressing because they did get foul happy. So we've seen a lot of half-court man-to-man. I think that would, but even with it being half-court man-to-man, there hasn't been a ton of scoring. And that, I think that talks about the hustle that we've seen tonight and the effectiveness of both teams because of that hustle.
A tough pass by Fisher to Cox. Cox now underneath the Caps. Dribbles in, throws it up. No good, too strong. And a foul is called, waiting for the official decision. And they'll get number 21, Nola Bentley. And that is Bentley's third foul of the game. Fisher inbounds to Cox, bounce pass to Caps. Caps, the left wing, decides to pull up a three. No good. And Cam, that has been the bane of these Lady Eagles. Too much indecision when given an open look.
And Josh, as soon as I talked about man-to-man, Hickman County tried to go to 2-3.
And a big three by Ava Floyd to give the Bulldogs the lead with 5 minutes to go in the fourth. And this game definitely picking up here at the end as we tick under 5 minutes. 37-36 your score, Lady Dogs in the lead. Cox to Aubrey Fisher across the way. Cox, a deep three, no good. And it's picked up by Adams and given to Cox. Cox drives in, takes it herself, no good, but she's fouled. So King will be called for the foul, her second of the game, her second in the span of just a few minutes. And Cox at the line. The first one kicks off the back of the rim, no good.
Now,
and Nola
Josh,
Bentley subbing out, Chloe Warren subbing in. Go on, Ken.
The rest of this game, I'm interested in what it's going to come down to. Is it going to be a few good possessions, or is it going to be an offensive takeover, right? We've seen a pretty slow offense game from both sides. As Ava Floyd, mid-range
Kicks off the
jumper.
rim, no good. Caps picks it up, looking for help, and gives off to Cox. Now up the floor. A breakaway. It's Adams off the glass, an easy two, and East is back in the lead with 4 minutes and 15 seconds. 39-37, your score, Eagles lead.
And Josh, that's something that can't happen either way, is open layups late in the fourth, right? It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you're going to lose games when you have open layups.
Gordon drives, no good. Rebounded by Addie Fisher. Warren in pursuit, passes it. That's Adams again, going off the glass, this time no good. But Caps there to get the rebound, and she is fouled. So Cam, almost two back-to-back possessions for the Lady Eagles with a free layup. But now if you look at the other end, the Lady Dogs had a free layup in their back pocket to tie this game. No good, and this just goes to show this game will be a matter of inches.
Yeah, Josh, the difference in this game is going to be a few small mistakes, right? A lot of the times people think of the big mistakes. It's not the big mistakes at the end of the game. It's the small mistakes that got you to where you were at the end of the game, right? That's what so many coaches preach, is doing the right things from the start of the game, right? Hickman County having an opportunity to hit an open layup to tie this game up. Whether or not you like it is going to come back to bite you. Well, how did it bite you? It bit you by you watched her miss that layup flat-footed, and you didn't get back on defense. Now, the Eagles have a chance for an easy bucket. Now, I will say this. East looks like they are wanting to push these Lady Dogs in transition. They feel like they're faster, and
Caps a miraculous underhanded layup to make this a 4-point game. And that is the last thing you needed if you're the Lady Dogs to be down against these dangerous Lady Eagles by more than one possession. Floyd met by Cox, dribbles around, drives, gives. Warren pump fakes, drives, kicks it. Chilton open look, too strong. Tipped and picked up by Brooklyn Adams, looking for help, and gives off to Cox. And a timeout is called. Yes, a timeout is called by Coach Taylor of the Lady Eagles.
And Josh.
So following the timeout, East now in possession. Your score 41-37 in favor of the Lady Eagles. Clock now at 3 minutes. That's Adams at the left wing. Goes across the way to Caps. Finds Cox at the free throw line. She dribbles back. Finds Cox underneath. Hands up with a defense. Tough shot, no good. Rebounded by King. Now the Lady Dogs pushing it up the floor. Looking to strike quickly. And Floyd dribbles in hard off the glass, no good. And Warren rips it away, and she puts it up and in.
Josh, a big play by the senior there, stepping up and getting that turnover. Great job by Chloe Warren to not give up.
That might be one of the biggest plays of this ball game, but all depends on how the Lady Eagles capitalize here. With under 2.5 minutes left, some big offensive possessions by East could salt this one away. Adams, guarded by Chilton, gives to Cox. Dribbles in hard, kicks it. That's Caps, and Caps walks. And that is critical. Can a critical miscue by the Lady Eagles, but will the Lady Bulldogs be able to capitalize? That remains to be seen as Floyd brings it up the floor.
And Josh, I don't really like that call by the refs. So many times, they have let these girls get away with a little like regather when they catch the ball.
And Floyd goes in for the layup, has it denied, but she is fouled. And with 1:59, Ava Floyd has a chance to tie it up. And they will call number 21, Brooklyn Adams.
Now, that wasn't to say that it wasn't a walk, because it absolutely was a walk, and that was the right call to make. But when you've been letting people get away with it, it's tough to make that call with 2 minutes left.
So Floyd makes the first. Number 2 is in, and we are tied with less than 2 minutes of play.
I mean, Josh, could you ask for anything else? We knew coming into this game how exciting this would be, and we're seeing it here, a tie ball game late in the fourth.
Adams at the left wing. Dribbles around back up top. Hands off to Aubrey Fisher. Fisher met by Gordon. Screen set by Caps. Hands off. Addie Fisher looking in the paint. Nothing there. But the Eagles able to get it back out beyond the perimeter. Addie Fisher drives. Loses a step. And they'll call a blocking foul on the Lady Dogs. And that will send East to the line.
And Josh, that's a tough thing to call right there. Zoe did step up to try to stop her. That call could have honestly gone either way. But oftentimes, if I'm the ref, I'm going to give the call to the offense.
And Addie Fisher misses free throw number 1. So 93 seconds to go in this contest, 41 all. Free throw number 2 is up and in. So a clutch free throw there by the freshman to give the Eagles a 1-point lead here late. And a big offensive possession here for the Lady Dogs and a big defensive possession for the Lady Eagles. Floyd guarded by Adams. Dribbles in hard. Throws it up, no good. Warren under the basket and dribbles it back out. Tough bounce pass, Chilton. Dribbles in hard. Spin move, left hand, no good. She's called for the walk.
And Josh, that was almost a great move there. Zoe had together with both feet though, which made her walk. If she could have kept that plant foot still and made that turn, it would have been a great move. But either way, going East way, this is going to be a good minute left.
And this is where if you're the Eagles, you got to know, no shot clock in high school. Take as much time as you need to.
And if you're Hickman County, you have to know that as well on defense. You have to pressure the basketball at all times, try to force them into something.
And a foul is called. Oh, and it's a defensive foul on Chloe Warren. It could have gone either way, but I think the correct call there, and that will send Ruby Cox, the senior, to the line with a chance to make this a 3-point ball game.
Yeah, Josh, I don't mind that call as Ruby Cox knocks down the first free throw. I don't mind that call. It was more of a handoff to me. You can't really call it illegal unless they do something blatant.
And Chilton picks up the missed free throw, and she has it taken away. And that might be and that is a tough break there for the Hickman County Lady Dogs. Gordon forced a foul. That will send Addie Fisher to the line. And can 2 free throws made make this a 4-point game, a 2-score game, which might put this out of reach. But free throw number 1, no good. So even if she makes it, Hickman County with a chance to tie it here late with a 3-pointer.
And remember, Josh, this is a freshman at the free throw line, so the noise is pretty loud right now.
But she calms down and makes the second one. So here we go, less than 30 seconds. Lady Dogs trail by 3. Gordon dribbles in, puts it up, no good, but she's fouled.
Now, Josh, I was interested to see what the Dogs were going to do on offense, but Haley Gordon put her head down and got to the lane. Now, she's got to knock both of these down, Josh, or they're going to be in a tough spot.
And Gordon misses the first one. And if you're Gordon, you have to settle down. You can't let the lights become too bright, because this free throw as well is also really big, and a brilliant timeout called by Coach Taylor, probably wanting Gordon to think about this second free throw just a little bit more.
Yeah, Josh, that's just an experienced coach doing what he needs to do. Calling it a timeout, just let that idea of her missing or making that free throw sit in her head while she's on the sideline. Good timeout call there by Coach Taylor. Now, if you're Haley Gordon, what are you thinking about You have to think about only knocking it. So many times, the difference between success and failure is what you think about while doing it, right? If you're thinking, I hope I make this, I hope this goes right, it's probably not going to happen. But when you know that you can, when you believe that you can do it, right? So if I'm Haley Gordon right now, I'm telling myself I know I can make this shot. Not that I can, but that I know that I will. And then the Lady Dogs have to know who they're fouling when they get the ball in. Who do they want to send to the free throw line? Who do they let get the ball when they throw it in to foul them? Right? Be prepared. Know who your people are. Know who you want to force do what.
Now we're out of the timeout. Gordon at the line, 44-41 your score. And she misses the second one, and Cox gets the rebound. A tough pass finds Adams. Adams to Fisher, loses a handle. Gordon picks it up. 13 seconds, you need a three. Given to Warren. To Floyd from three, short. Gordon gets the rebound, and she is fouled. And Cam, if you're Gordon, surprised she didn't try to kick it back out to attempt the tie ball game. Even if you make both of these free throws, you have to foul immediately when they inbound. So, spur of the moment decision. All I know is that my heart's racing for both of these teams.
Josh, if you're Haley Gordon, you have to know your situation. And she misses the first shot. You have to know, if I get this rebound, we are down by 3. I'm looking for a three-point shot. Who's your best three-point shooters? And honestly, at that point, it doesn't matter who your best three-point shooters are. You're getting the ball to them. If you are East in this situation, one, great job taking care of the basketball. Great job taking care of the basketball. Pushing it down the floor. Now, if I am them in these last few seconds, if I'm the coach, I'm doing whatever it takes to get my best free throw shooter to the ball. Because in this situation, they absolutely 100% have to get her the ball, right? Whoever you choose to shoot those free throws is who is getting this ball. If you guys set 3 screens for her, do that, right? If I'm Hickman County, you have to deny that as much as possible and be diving at anything that happens. Now, no matter what, this is an amazing learning experience for both of these teams, right? For Hickman County, they haven't necessarily been in a situation like this. Now they can learn from this. East, I don't know if they've been in a situation like this or not, but irregardless, in this high of a pressure situation, I know they haven't been in this exact one.
And Gordon misses the second one. And they'll call it off.
Yeah, Josh, you have to hit the rim there. Haley Gordon totally missed the rim, and East immediately gets the ball.
Lady Dogs, either a turnover or a foul is what they need. They find Cox. They get it back, and Caps is fouled. So Cam, with 1.3 seconds, a single free throw ends the game.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, a big, long 3 is unlikely, but it is possible. If she knocks it down, it's impossible to win the game unless they foul. If I'm East, I'm telling every player I have, get underneath the basket on the other end so I know you're not about to touch it.
So Kelsey Caps with a chance to put this game on ice in front of her home crowd. And she sinks it. And that should all but do it here in Bon Aqua as the second one is now on the way. And number 2 is also good. And Floyd letting it roll, letting it roll, letting it roll, picks it up and just chucks it. And it's well short. And the East Hickman Lady Eagles are victorious in the cross-county rivalry. And Cam, what a marvelous game that we had the pleasure to call right here between the Lady Eagles and the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, Josh, that was a wonderful game and a great experience for both of these teams, right? If I am these coaches, I'm not really disappointed in these girls' performances. Now, there was a lot of fouls. It was a sloppy game, but you know, it being the first of these matchups this year, it's going to be a little rough around the edges. But a great job by East Hickman to take care of business, to make the right choices when it comes down to the end of the game.
But folks, we thank you for joining us here for the first game of the evening. And if you thought that was electric, we have a whole nother game ready for you. And this one, I promise, will be just as exciting between the boys of East Hickman and the boys of Centerville. Me and my broadcast colleague Cameron Peters will take just a few-minute break. But when we come back, we'll run you through a pregame and get you ready for action. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
It has already been an electric rivalry night here in East Hickman, but I promise the intensity will only continue to grow as we prepare for our second game of the evening. Of course, our first one went the way of the Lady Eagles, but the boys of Hickman County and Centerville are looking to make sure the lightning does not strike twice. A game that both teams have had circled on their calendars, and the wait is finally almost over. We here at WNKX are so grateful for your support and viewership. Whether you might be an Eagle or a Bulldog, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate it all the same. Now, Hickman is coming off of a tough loss against Wayne County, 47-56 last Tuesday. And East is looking to build on momentum following their nail-biter victory against Houston County, which was also on Tuesday, that had a final score of 45-43. But as we mentioned before the girls' game, you have to throw all previous games out the front door going into a rivalry. You will be getting the absolute best of both teams. You will be getting a scrappy performance, an aggressive performance. Now, just as we saw the last time these two schools squared off in football, both teams played their absolute best. East Hickman Cam was an absolute juggernaut. They were the Region 5 2A champs, but when they faced off against a struggling Centerville team, the Bulldogs were still able to take it to overtime with a chance to win. Now, the Bulldogs did come up short in overtime, but that just goes to show how intense these rivalry games can be and how much it means to both schools. You never know what to expect, but Cam, even with us not being able to predict a thing in this game, what are some keys that you could come up with for both sides here tonight?
Well, Josh, first off, I'm really glad you printed off a script because I had no idea what you said, because I'll go ahead and say it. East Hickman sound system, the best one we've seen yet. It is an elite sound system. It is booming in here, but thankfully I can read your script. Keys to the game, Josh. Same as the girls, play your game, right? You know how to play basketball. You've been doing it for, 12 to 15 games already this year? Be locked in. Be ready to go. If I'm Hickman County, I'm looking at players other than Elisha Puckett to step up in this game. We know Elisha Puckett's going to bring his game and ball out. He always does. If I'm East, I'm looking for people other than Mr. Nathan Hobbs to come out and see what they do. Now, those two guys, we will probably call their names a lot. Nathan Hobbs, Elisha Puckett. Those are, on paper, the best two players we see on this floor. Now, what are the other guys going to step up and do? Are the lights going to be too bright for those guys? Are they going to come in and dominate? That will be the story of the game. These two guys, they're both seniors. They have taken care of their business so many times in this game already, right? They've experienced this. What are these other guys going to step up and do, Josh?
Well, Cam, mind you, last year in the district tournaments, right, these two teams faced off, and what was probably one of the most electric environments that I was in. And who played a big part in that game for East Hickman? None other than Nathan Hobbs. And Cam, this kid is an athlete, right? He was one of the leading scorers on offense for the East Eagles football team at tight end. He was a force in the red zone. And now, turn around a few months later on the basketball court, he is still shining like a star here for the East Hickman Eagles. And Elisha Puckett, former football player in his own right, of course, has taken the time now to focus solely on basketball, and it certainly has done him a lot of good. Elisha this year has been a completely different animal, unlike any version of himself that we've seen in years prior. And Cam, that goes for a lot of these Hickman County Bulldogs as well. A lot of these guys have elevated themselves. They've stepped up. I look at guys like Dylan Qualls, Will McDonald. I've seen guys like Braden Brown and Tim Puckett, two younger guys that haven't gotten as many starting minutes, make the most of the minutes they are given, and they shine on the floor as well.
Yeah, Josh. It is up and down these lineups. Both of these teams are pretty deep teams with a good bit of experience against each other. So, but again, how many times can we talk about experience and this and that and the other when it really comes down to it is a rivalry game with energy that is unmatched, Josh. You can be as passionate as you want about football. 10 out of 10 times, I'm taking the Hickman County versus East Hickman basketball energy over any other time that there's an athletic game for either of these schools. Josh, when looking at both of these teams, East is gonna be scrappy. They always have been, they always will be, and that could be, that is going to be the difference in this game, right? This is their home court. They are here to defend it. To the utmost, they are defending it. What's the answer going to be? Is the answer going to be a lay down? Or is the answer going to be, we'll see who's going to win this game, right? And Josh, I can't wait.
I can't either, Cam. I wish the game would start already, but as a matter of fact, we are now just a minute away from tip-off. And as I look through these rosters, I know we are going to have an absolutely masterful game played here tonight. And to Cam's point, it will be a scrappy one. And Cam, speaking of scrappy basketball games, we saw something similar against Wayne County, and that didn't go the favor of Hickman. We saw Dylan Qualls have 4 fouls early in the third quarter, right? And he's one of the most prolific defenders on this team, and losing him is losing a vital piece. So I think Hickman County needs to control themselves tonight. They don't need to get too ambitious. Don't get too far ahead of themselves. Settle down, play good, clean basketball. And if you're East, you thrive on the energy. You know you're at home. You have the hometown crowd behind you. It's going to get loud. You're going to have support. Don't let it go to waste. So now they're introducing the starting lineups. We've seen Braden Brown and Will McDonald introduced. Following McDonald is Dylan Qualls. And behind him, the man whose name we call a lot, number 12, Elisha Puckett. And last but certainly not least, the 6'6" center, the big man Tyler McKinnon, number 25. And of course, Coach Chris Dawson is the one instructing these young men here tonight. And now it's time to introduce the starting lineup for the East Eagles. And this crowd has come alive at the PA announcement. They're starting off with number 1, Silas Quillen, who is a sophomore. And following him, number 2, Braxton Hill. So far, no seniors in the starting 5. And following Hill will be Stephen Bailey, number 3. But now our first senior, number 10, Dakota Ragsdale, who's been a staple in East Hickman sports. Not unlike this last man, number 33, the senior, Nathan Hobbs, who gets a big round of applause from his hometown faithful. And Cam, these are one of these games I don't envy the job of an official. Crowds in your ear, whether you make the right call or not, someone's going to let you hear about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the referees handle these lights as well. And it looks like to start off, it will be number 33, Nathan Hobbs at midcourt, doing battle with number 11, Dylan Qualls. And here we go. We are underway in Bon Aqua as Qualls wins the jump. Of course, we cannot speak highly enough of this young man's hops. Elisha to Brown, now to McKinnon. McDonald pump fakes the 3. Met by Hill, now gives over. Left wing, Puckett from 3. Oh, rattles around, no good. And Hobbs making his presence felt underneath with the first rebound of the game. And he'll dish over to Quillen. And Quillen is called for the walk here early.
And Josh, Hickman County has come out in a 2-3 zone. I was not expecting that. Matchup-wise, we match up to them pretty well. So, interesting move by Coach Dawson, but nonetheless, we'll see how it happens.
Puckett gives over to McKinnon, who loses a handle but secures it. Hands off to Brown. Brown drives in hard. Wants to take it himself. No good. McDonald gets it the corner. The 3 is no good. And Qualls flies in to get the rebound. The ball is loose on the floor. Picked up by Qualls, and Brown rips it away. And Elisha from 3. No good. Picked up by Ragsdale. Ragsdale dribbling down the floor, and Qualls another early foul similar to what we saw at Wayne County. And if you're Qualls, you have to stay composed and be careful.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it on this broadcast, but I'm going to do it until they start doing it. You have to beat the guy to the sideline and make him stop and turn the other way.
So East Hickman ball. Quillen feeds over. Now it's Quillen again at the right wing, goes all the way across the way and finds Bailey mid-range. No, that was Braxton Hill who knocks down the 2. So East now leads early 2-0. McDonald pump fakes a 3, dribbles, gives to Brown. Brown along the baseline. Kicks it out to McDonald. Now to Qualls up top, who's met quickly by Quillen. Qualls drives on Quillen, puts it up off the glass, no good. McDonald tries to put back, nothing there, and Quillen picks it up. Quillen drives, kicks it back out to Bailey. Bailey over to Ragsdale. Ragsdale wide open is Quillen. Stops and puts it up, no good. Hobbs looking for the putback, and he gets it off the glass. So similar to the girls' game, East Hickman riding this wave of energy early as they lead 4-0.
Yeah, Josh, and Hickman County just looks like they don't really have a plan right now on the defensive side. They're kind of everywhere. As a charge is called there on Will McDonald. A soft foul there, but nonetheless it was called. Good job there by the East defender to catch that charge.
I mean, I think McDonald maybe a little panicked there. He saw the ball get away from him, wanted to prevent the defense getting to it at any cost. As Hobbs inbounds, finds Hill. Hill to Bailey. Bailey up the floor in a hurry. Finds Ragsdale in the corner, pulls up from 3 over McKinnon. Well short, picked up by Elisha. Elisha dribbling hard, mid-range. Off the glass, no good. Hobbs gets the rebound. And McKinnon there perhaps mistimes the jump as he was going for the offensive board. And Hobbs crossing the midcourt line. McDonald there to meet him. Hobbs, nice move, dribbles into the free throw stripe, kicks it out. Another 3 attempt. Too strong, picked up by Puckett. The 3 attempted there by Hill. Puckett gives Brown. Brown back up to Elisha, across the way, Qualls. The corner, McDonald from 3, no good. And McKinnon gets the rebound, tries to put it up, no good, but he's fouled by Hobbs. So that will send the big 6'6" center to the free throw stripe. And Cam, it's almost weird how parallel these last 2 games have started. An early East Hickman onslaught, and then a free throw attempt to try to get Hickman County, the Bulldogs, back into the game.
Yeah, Josh, great job there by Tyler McKinnon to extend the possession for the Hickman County Bulldogs, but, you know, the refs have called 3 soft fouls now, Josh. I don't think Hobbs fouled him there, but nonetheless, that is expected, though.
And McKinnon banks in the second free throw. He goes 1 for 2. And that is the Hickman County Bulldogs' first point of the game. A nice snag there by Bailey. Bailey at the right wing, met by Puckett. Dribbles in hard. Now the left wing, it's Hill. Hill back to Bailey in the corner. Tough pass to Hobbs. Loses a handle. But he will be fouled, and the call will be on the floor.
That's another soft one, Josh. I guess we know what kind of game we're going to get refereed.
And we talked about this in the last game. I think it's a lot trying to prevent any emotional flare-ups. I respect the decisions here by the officials. And Quillen here to inbound from the baseline. Oh, a touch pass to Ragsdale off the glass, no good. And Elisha knocks it up into outer space. It'll be called dead. East Hickman maintains possession. Quillen again. Bounce pass in the corner. Bailey from 3, no good, and Elisha secures the rebound. Tough pass, McDonald at the left wing. Elisha, pump fakes on Ragsdale, dribbles in. Left-handed layup, and it's good. Oh, a miraculous shot. Oh, and they call an offensive foul on Elisha. And that's tough. That is a tough call. And the officials talking it over here. But that is the nature of the game. A tough move by Elisha, but not without some offensive contact initiated.
We're just going to have to wait and see. He did That is a charge call by Elisha Puckett.
And they do confirm the charge on Elisha. So here, once again, Cam, I mean, whether you agree or not is irrelevant. If you're Hickman County, you have to play through it. The game still goes on. Officials are human. They'll make calls that you don't agree with, but no one agrees with every call. But you have to learn to stop this East offense. They find Bailey, drives in and tries the reverse layup. No good. And Brown, breakaway off the glass, lays it up and in.
And Josh, impressive there by Braden Brown. Full speed into that layup. That's not an easy thing to do.
Hickman County playing some aggressive defense, but nice ball movement by the Eagles. In the corner, it's Bailey. And Brown takes it away. He was looking for Quillen and gives to McKinnon. Now to Elisha, and Hickman County looking for some momentum of their own. Gives to Qualls. Qualls guarded by Quillen. Qualls drives left-handed. Jump stop off the glass, no good. McDonald for the putback, also no good. And they get Hobbs on the foul. So Cam, this is, my goodness, there are already some early combustible elements in this game.
Yeah, Josh, a lot of fouls being called. Hobbs coming out of the game with two fouls already.
And so is Braxton Hill, being subbed in for the Eagles. Number 20, Tyler Walker, and number 24, Carter Goodwin. Elisha at the free throw stripe, step back, around the perimeter, gives over to Brown, touch pass, McKinnon. Bounce back, mid-range shot, and it falls.
And a tough shot there by Tyler McKinnon, staying with it. That's something I want to see more out of him.
That might have been one of the most athletic plays we've seen McKinnon make all year. And East looking to move it. That's a good one in the corner. No good, just misses off the rim. And McDonald will be fouled. So Cam, really in a surprising twist, ever since that Elisha charge, it seems like things have completely flipped somehow.
Yeah, Josh, Hickman County has been more feeling the game out here, but both sides are getting a lot of foul calls.
And Brown gets the handoff from McKinnon all the way in, no good off the rim, rebounded by Ragsdale. Your score 5-4, Bulldogs lead, 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Quillen, guarded by Brown.
Now Hickman County is still in this 2-3 zone, and when they throw the ball in, it's a 2-2-1 press, but East has an easy job. As a foul on a walk there called by East.
Wow, and that was a tough break, because if he doesn't walk there, that's a textbook foul on Brody Worley, who overcommitted, but a lucky break there for the Bulldogs as they bring it up the floor. Speaking of, Brody Worley has checked into the game for Dylan Qualls. Now Elisha up top, gives to Brody Worley at the left wing, gives high post to McKinnon. Tough pass to McDonald, tries to put it up. No good, but he's fouled, and it will be on the floor.
And a good job there. Great call by Coach Dawson, getting Will McDonald in an ISO with a significantly smaller defender in Carter Goodwin. Now, is that something we're going to continue to see? I'm interested in seeing that.
In the corner, Puckett from three, no good. And Goodwin picks up the rebound. They're pushing at the floor in a hurry. It's Walker, and it's blocked by Elisha, and McKinnon, 2 blocks. And Elisha up the floor to Brown, dribbles, spin move, takes it himself off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Ragsdale, and this is already chaotic. And East has done a good job at getting some boards on the defensive end. Ragsdale gives, that's Walker. Walker from 3, no good, picked up by McKinnon. 5-4, your score remains. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kylan Seal set to check in for the Bulldogs. And it looks like number 2, Braxton Hill, set to check back in for the Eagles when the time comes.
Josh, this has been all gas, no breaks this game from either side. I mean, this is a fun game to watch either way you chop it up.
And Elisha, screened by McKinnon, dribbles in left-handed, puts it up, and it falls in. He gets the bounce. So a tough 2 there by Elisha. 7-4 now your score. Quillen with the ball, met by a couple of Bulldogs. Dribbles in the corner, good one, wide open 3. No good. And Walker gets the rebound and the easy 2-point putback. Now, Hickman County wasting no time down the floor. Elisha steps back, pump fakes, hands over to Brown, dribbles in, back to Puckett. We're now under a minute in the first quarter. Now to McDonald at the right wing. Tough, beautiful pass to McKinnon, but he can't handle it. But he puts it up, regathers, no good. Gets his own putback. This is no good. So good defense underneath by the Eagles to secure that second board. And Quillen now down the right side of the floor. Oh, and Brody Worley takes a tumble, and they will get the blocking foul on number 0. Okay, I think that was a textbook block there. I mean, he didn't set his feet there. A little bit of movement by Worley. Good call there by the official.
Yeah, great call there by the ref. And the dangerous thing, if you call that a charge, everybody in this gym was about to explode. But either way, Josh, this has been just full speed, nonstop. Has it been pretty? Absolutely not. But has it been entertaining? Certainly.
And Quillen knocks down free throw number 1 to tie us up at 7. And this might be one of the lowest scoring quarters we've seen in some time, Cam. Only 7-7 with 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Quillen knocks down number 2. Eagles back in the lead by 1. So Hickman probably going to slow it down here to bleed off some clock in this first quarter. And Elisha loses the handle but gets it right back, puts it up, and it rolls in.
Yeah, and a good job there by Elisha to stay with it. Loses the ball, but staying calm enough to continue the play.
And Bailey driving, tries to go behind the back, gets away from him, and Elisha picks it up. Puts it up, and Cam looked like Elisha just... And the and one! And Cam, I think Elisha might have lost track of how much time.
I think he misread the board, Josh. I think he saw an 11, and when you're moving that fast and somebody tried to steal it from you, he chucked it up there. You know, it's one of those amusing mistakes, but it's a good job to stay with it. You know.
And we know Elisha's a smart young man. He can read, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Just a tough break there for the young man, but it works out as he gets the and one all the same. And Elisha cannot complete the three-point play, but Seal gets the rebound. Mid-range. Waiting for it. Good! Oh, it rattled around just like Kawhi Leonard's game winner in the 2019 finals. And what a first quarter of action. And the Hickman County Bulldogs have taken some momentum at the end of the first quarter. Your score, 13-8. Bulldogs lead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists?
That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out. Pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. Josh Copley with Cameron Peters, and what has been a thrilling first quarter to say the least. Excitement around every corner, and that was only the first quarter. We got 3 more left to start the second. The Eagles with possession. Your score 13-8. Hickman of Centerville leads.
Now, Josh,
Bailey.
Charlie Blosted has gotten into this game. We'll see what kind of a factor he is.
And an open look by Bailey knocks it down, and Cam, that was smooth as butter. The rim, or the net rather, did not move at all. Beautiful shot there by Bailey to close the gap to 2 points. Elisha wanted it for a second, but now dribbles in. Step back, 3. No good off the mark, but he gets his own rebound. Now it's Worley. Pump fakes, now dribbles in himself, and he'll be fouled by Walker. And Cam, we're seeing something similar to the Wayne County game for these Bulldogs. Elisha hasn't been that efficient from beyond the perimeter, but what he's been lacking in these three-point shots, he has been hustling, Cam. He's been getting rebounds. He's been making some tough twos. and has been playing good defense. A nice pass, pump fake by Qualls, and it works to perfection as he tacks on a couple of more. Qualls' first bucket of the game.
Yeah, Josh, you said it. Elisha making the extra plays has been so big tonight, and that's the entire reason why Hickman County is leading this game.
And Elisha the takeover, and Qualls dribbles in, gets the two through two defenders. He splits the gap. A great move by Qualls as the Bulldogs widen it 17-11. And another takeaway for Hickman County, and Qualls is fouled by Quillen. So Cam, it seems like East is starting to become rattled a little bit, which really this early, don't really think there's a need to. I mean, you've been playing solid ball. Of course, both sides have been a little sloppy, but it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, Josh, this Hickman County press was absolutely pathetic in the first quarter. I guess Coach Dawson lit a fire under him because it has now caused 3 turnovers already.
So Elisha now dribbling back near the logo to set things up. He'll be met by Tyler Walker. Elisha being guarded well. Gives over to Qualls at the wing. And he fakes the handoff, dribbles in, tries to find Seal, but he gets it back somehow. Worley from 3, and Worley no good off the rim. But a foul is called on the floor. They will get number 15, who just checked in, Jax Yablonsky, who is a senior. So they have a couple of seniors on the floor right now in the absence of Nathan Hobbs, being Jax Yablonsky and Tyler Walker. So Puckett to inbound from the baseline. Blystad in the game for Hickman County, floats it back. And Worley saves the half-court violation, maybe a little unnecessarily, as he gets it back and the Dogs can set up. That's Blystad. Met by Hill. Gives it back out to Puckett, a deep 3. No good, and Seal tries to get the rebound, but goes over the back of Yablonsky, and that will be a foul called on number 30. East will take over. Your score 17-11. Bulldogs lead. Ragsdale inbounds to Quillen. Now back to Ragsdale. Qualls tries to knock it away, but far too much contact for number 11. And it looks like number 3, Tim Puckett, the junior, is subbing in for Qualls, as Qualls just had some unnecessary fouls thus far in this game.
Yeah, Josh. Now, East needs to get something going here. In what way they do that, I'm not sure right now. They're not really in flow, but Hickman County has switched back to man-to-man defense.
Quillen drives, hands off. It's Yablonsky who gives over to Ragsdale. Quillen drives, step back, pump fake, gives Ragsdale at the wing. Dribbles it on Worley, looking for help. Finds Quillen at the left wing. Guarded by Puckett, hands it off. That's Bailey, back to Quillen. Quillen dribbles in, having a tough time. Nice spin move off the glass, shot, no good. Yablonsky, a tough rebound, tries to put back over 4 Bulldogs. And Cam, what a Herculean effort by number 15, Jax Yablonsky. Not an easy rebound at all.
Absolutely, great job by that young man, hustling his way in there and making that extra possession happen.
Look at number 44, the senior Charlie Blystad on the foul for Centerville. Quillen inbounds, Ragsdale. Right side of the paint, dribbles in, puts it over Seal off the glass, no good. Picked up by Puckett, a bit of a wild shot. Elisha on the break, pass, Seal off the glass, no good, but Elisha picks up the slack and gets the putback. So Cam, Elisha, not a single 3, but still has 10 points in this first half. And Quillen, bounce pass, open, Bailey, fade away, no good. And Elisha gets the rebound. Looking for help, Bailey playing tough defense there. Elisha dribbles in, hands off, Worley gives the corner, it's Tim Puckett. Reminder, is in the game for Dylan Qualls. Blystad back to Puckett. And now Coach Dawson wants his guys slowing the pace down just a little bit.
Yeah, Josh, this hasn't been a great, clean game for either team. Tim
and
Puckett.
Tim, no good, but Worley couldn't complete the putback, but Blystad flies in off stage right and gets the rebound, and Tim floats it back to his brother Elisha. Dribbles, step back, looking, has it tipped, but gets it back up. And the shot is called off, and they will get a blocking foul on Braxton Hill. And the big man, Tyler McKinnon, looking to check back in.
And Josh, I hate it for these kids right now because they feel like they're walking on eggshells, right? You have all this energy, all this effort going on, but there's a lot of fouls being called. And so they're having to be really careful with every move they make. And I think that's a part of the reason why we're not seeing either team in a groove right now.
Elisha pulls up, no good off the back of the rim. McKinnon with that long reach tips it. Pump fake, Elisha dribbles in, mid-range floater, good.
And Josh, finding that mid-range shot for Elisha has been huge for these Hickman County Bulldogs. I mean, he's gotten the majority of the points per usual, but they're all from inside the mid-range area.
Can't knock down the three, rolls off the rim. And Elisha picks it up, 21-11. Hickman's widened it just a little bit, 10-point lead do the Bulldogs have, just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bounce pass, McKinnon kicks it out, Puckett from three, good! And in the words of Tim Puckett, shooters shoot, and that's exactly what he did right there.
And yeah, a big shot there by Tim Puckett, stepping up. We haven't seen him make one of those in a few games, so it's good to see him get back into it. Now, if I'm East, and
I think if you're East, you knew that right there.
Yeah.
A nice left-handed layup by Silas Quillen to cut into the deficit. 24-13, Hickman County leads.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Josh. Look for easy shots in the lane. Manufacture something to get you a good look, to get you back in rhythm.
And an offensive foul is called on Hickman County. I believe they'll get Tyler McKinnon as the guilty party. They do. And Cam, if you're the East Eagles right now, the scoreboard doesn't look great, but think about how you started. You started off on fire. You know you have what it takes to beat the guys in the gray and in the gray, white, and red jerseys. So I think it's all about Coach Matney getting his guys settled down and remembering how they started.
And you also got to think, you know, their main source is Hobbs, who has not played much in this game. He's back in now, but you just haven't. He hadn't been able to be in much.
Ragsdale on Blystad. Now dribbles back outside. On Brown, looking for help. Nowhere to go. Finds Hobbs in the corner on Blystad. Hobbs across the way to Quillen. Nice hops to secure it. Now it's the corner. That's Walker's spin move, and he's fouled by McDonald.
And that's probably 2 on McDonald. He's just got to step in front there and cut the defender off. So many times, so many young guys, when it comes to basketball, it's like you feel like you're playing defense because you're between your defender and the goal, right? But in reality, if he's on the baseline, it's hard for him he can't shoot a shot anyway as he misses.
Tyler Walker misses free throw number 1, number 2 on the way.
And that's something I've noticed with both of these teams is when a guy goes down the sideline, nobody's cutting him off.
And Walker misses number 2. McDonald tries to secure the rebound. You know, it was a mad scrap for the ball, and they'll say it rolls off the back of Tyler Walker. Hickman County will take over possession.
Now, Elisha Puckett is not in the game right now. It is Timothy Puckett, it is Charlie Blostad, it is Tyler McKinnon, it's Braden Brown, and it's Will McDonald. Who's going to be the one to answer? Because Hobbs is in right now. So he's going to be East answer. Who's going to be Hickman County's answer?
McDonald gives to Tim. Elisha Puckett looking to sub back in here soon as he's near the table. Brown at the right wing, spin move, drives on Ragsdale, no good. It's tipped and picked up by Walker as he now able to set up. Now under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 24-13 your score, Bulldogs lead. Quillen looking for help. Finds Ragsdale in the corner, quick pass, Hobbs mid-range, no good. And Brown hustles in for the rebound. And they'll point the direction of the Bulldogs. So Cam, another just gutsy performance there by Brown, being one of the shorter guys on the floor, but still coming up with these rebounds.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. He's always a hustle guy. But the thing that, you know, is big here for Hickman County, why I think they have such good momentum, is Hobbs has not been in the game most of the game. Now, you saw that mid-range shot. I'm sure 9 out of 10 times that is his shot. He's knocking that down. But because he's out of sync, it's Charlie Blostad from the 3, misses that one,
strong
heading
on
the east way. But
rebounded by Hobbs.
many times, you know, when your best player isn't in rhythm, that works in the other team's favor. Right now, I look for Hobbs to find his rhythm because right now, he's not in it.
And Hobbs loses it, tipped away. Brown, breakaway, 2-on-2. Nice move! Can't cap it off as Blystead gets the rebound and they'll reset. A nice move by Brown, all for naught. Now McKinnon high post, gives to Elisha, who's back in the game. Checked in for Will McDonald. They'll dribble it back near the logo. Under a minute now, 45 seconds to play in the first half. Elisha working Ragsdale, tries to dribble in, spin move. Runs into Hobbs and Ragsdale, and he walks. Cam, that is some great defense right there by the Eagles. Great job by Ragsdale not to be overwhelmed and to allow his man Hobbs to help him right there.
Yeah, Hobbs coming over the double. He knew Elisha was in isolation there, so forcing Elisha to meet two people.
And he gets it off. That's Hill, the corner. That's Ragsdale all the way over to Quillen. Now Walker from three, no good. Elisha gets the rebound. 15 seconds to go. 24-13, still your score. Bulldogs in the lead. Elisha taking his time. He understands the game clock. Still has plenty of time now. Elisha dribbles in, gives Tim Puckett. Nobody near him. No good. And nobody able to get the rebound, but it matters not, as that brings us to the end of the second quarter, to the end of the first half. It has been an exciting one so far. 2 quarters remain, anybody's ball game. Hickman County 24, East Hickman 13. We'll be right back after this intermission.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable squares.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And folks, we welcome you back to WNKX. We appreciate your viewership and your support of the station. And Cam, the score being 24-13, and not at all how I thought things would look following how this game started.
Yeah, Josh. But this 11-point lead does not at all feel like an 11-point lead. It feels a lot tighter than that because the energy in this building is a lot tighter than that. Now, what are we going to do coming out of this half? If I'm Hickman County, I am, if I'm Elisha Puckett, I have not missed a single mid-range shot all night, and I've been getting to the rim good. Now, they are doubling me a lot on my double moves. Elisha is very good at double moves. You can tell this team is well prepared for them. So, I have to know that if I'm him, and I'm realizing that, and I'm looking to get my teammates more involved. Something I need to see out of Hickman County more in this second half is getting my team involved. Now, what do I need to see from East? I need to see a coaching scheme that protects Hobbs. Who's going to get you back into this game? Nathan Hobbs, right? He's your leading scorer on the year, and he barely got to play in that first half. If I'm the East Hickman coaching staff, I am doing whatever I can to keep him in the game as much as possible. Now, that being said, the guys who played most of that half did a great job. I want to give a shout out to Dakota Ragsdale. That young man has been playing his heart out. He has had the matchup with Elisha Puckett, and he has been such a steady guy for this East team. He has been in the right places at the right time, making the right plays on the boards, in the passing lanes. Been very impressed with that young man tonight, and if people will replicate what he's bringing, it'll be a good half for them.
And I would argue that Silas Quillen of East has been doing something similar. Being a sophomore, being a young player, he's been stepping up as well. He has been one of their primary ball handlers on the floor. He has been an outlet guy they've turned to. He's also willing to be a supportive team player, dish it out when it's needed to. So if East can handle this press that Hickman County's been playing, this aggressive style of defense, and settle back into how they were at the beginning, I think they could definitely go on a run and knock this game back up. But only time will tell. And Cam, just talking about the nature of this rivalry, it's so wonderful to see so many in such a small town come out and support from both of these teams on both sides. It might get heated sometimes, but it's because we know at the end of the day it's because they're both are just so passionate about the kids on the court. They love what they're seeing, and they want to support these guys through and through. So props to all those who have shown up and shown out tonight, not only on the floor, coaches, but the fan base as well. And Cam, for us, this rivalry has meant a lot to us. We grew up in Hickman County. Of course, we went to Centerville Hickman County High School. We always took part in this rivalry. We always looked forward to it on the baseball field. And it was always competitive. It was always a great game, and the fans were always rowdy. So once again, kudos to the fans who showed up here tonight. And Cam, the head coach, of course, for East Hickman, Greg Matney, was our college algebra teacher our senior year. So it's always nice to see so many connections being made in this community as we're now emerging from the break. Both teams now taking the floor, and it's time for second half basketball. Let's get it on. As Brown will inbound it from the sideline at midcourt and gives it to Elisha. He's met by Ragsdale. Gives it over to McDonald. Out of the corner, it's Brown, met quickly by Bailey. Tough pass to Puckett off the glass, and it's good. So Hickman County starting on the right foot here.
And Josh, to me, that was fully expected. Coach Dawson, out of every half, tries to drop a play specifically for Elisha and or Dylan near the rim.
Oh, and Ragsdale tries for the mid-range, gets it swatted down, but Hobbs picks it up, tries a shot, also no good. And Braden Brown, the one to come up with it at the end. So Hickman has just looked really strong on the defensive end so far tonight. Qualls dribbles, finds McDonald. Dribbles in, finds Brown at the wing. Across the way, Puckett. It's blown off. And a violation is called in the paint. And it will be a turnover. Kylan Seal here to check in for McKinnon. The five on the floor right now is Ragsdale, Hill, Bailey, Quillen, and Hobbs for East. For Hickman, Braden Brown, Will McDonald, Elisha Puckett, Dylan Qualls, and Kylan Seal. So Quillen, left side of the floor, corner. Ragsdale Had an open look, doesn't take it. Bounce pass. Oh, a nice pass from Hill to Quillen. Quillen can't make it, gets his own rebound, hands to Hobbs off the glass, and a nice hook shot by Nathan Hobbs. As the Eagles get their first bucket of the half, 26-15 your score, Bulldogs in the lead. McDonald, one to pull up, doesn't, dribbles, gives to Elisha. Back to McDonald, bounce pass, Qualls, dribbling in hard on Quillen. Nice pass to Seal, and Seal will cap it off with a tough 2.
Josh, and that's something we haven't seen a lot from this Hickman County team, but a great job with the presence of mind by Callan Seal to backdoor cut there.
So now it's Bailey, gives the corner, it's Ragsdale. Finds Hobbs in the paint, on Puckett, puts it up, no good. And they will get Elisha Puckett on the foul. Hobbs goes to the line. That is Elisha's second foul of the game. So, Cam, that's what I've seen, definitely a difference in Hickman County style of play. A lot less guys in foul trouble to this point.
Yeah, Josh, and that, I think, attributes to the zone that they've been playing as Hobbs knocks down the first one. In a zone, you're typically less likely to foul. So I think that's where that's coming from. But either way, Hickman County staying out of foul trouble has been a big play, especially for Elisha Puckett.
And Seal checks back in for McKinnon. The second free throw is up and in. Both perfect by Nathan Hobbs. They cut it down 17-28. Elisha up the left side of the floor. Bounce pass to Brown. Now McDonald gives over to McKinnon up top. The Bulldogs slowing the pace down. Qualls out to McKinnon. Out of McDonald. A lot of passes. A Puckett wants to drive. Floater, no good. And they'll get the charge on Elisha. So it'll be Elisha's second charge of the game. That'll be his third foul of the game. And Cam, you can never question Elisha's willingness to play hard, right? Even at the cost of some fouls. That's just how he plays the game. And Hobbs, who drew the charge, passes it into Bailey, goes back to Hobbs. Hickman not letting up on defense. Quillen, tough bounce pass to Bailey. Back out, Quillen, now to Hobbs up top. Brown there to meet him. And he walks. Then we'll get number 2, Braxton Hill, on the walk, and Hickman County will take back over.
Josh, that's something we've seen a lot of tonight with both games, is a lot of walks tonight. That is typically due to the energy in the building, right? You're more likely to make easy mistakes when the energy and stakes are high, and I think that's a part of the reason why what's going on has been going on.
Oh, a nice fake out by Qualls, drives in, mid-range, and it doesn't fall after bouncing off the rim a million different times, and the Eagles pick it up. And Cam, to your point, of course, walks are common. Your feet move a little faster than your brain. And a nice pass as Braxton Hill cuts to the basket and gets a nice 2 for the Eagles.
Josh, in the last few times down the court, East has picked apart this Hickman County zone. People are not where they're supposed to be in this Hickman County zone, and it just doesn't look great.
Brown looking for help, gives out to Worley, out to McDonald. Qualls loses handle of it. And a nice job to get it out. McDonald open 3. Can't knock it down as it rolls around and goes out. So a tough break there by McDonald. A good-looking shot, but a miss all the same as East now in possession. 4:03 to go in the third quarter. Now Hobbs in the paint, walking back on McKinnon, but dishes it back out. Oh, and Qualls tries to cut it off. And McKinnon tries to block Ragsdale's shot. He does block it, but at the cost of a foul, and that will send Ragsdale to the line.
Yeah, Josh, and now Tyler McKinnon picks up his third, so that's Elisha Puckett and Tyler McKinnon with 3 on them as Kylan Seal is checking in this game, and Ragsdale knocks down the first.
As Seal will check in to McKinnon, to your point, Cam, and East slowly chipping away at this deficit they faced early on in the second half. And Ragsdale can't make the second. And Seal, who just checked in, gets a big rebound and gives out to Brown.
And Josh, I think the reason East is chipping away is a more solid plan coming out of halftime against the zone. You can see they have more of an idea of what they want to do right now.
Worley drives out. McDonald, mid-range. And it's in. Okay, it looked like Will just flicked it in right there, and it works. So
yeah, Josh,
up by 10.
Finding that is all about what you're comfortable in. Derrick Rose was a classic, just flip it up guy, but others like to take a jump stop. Great.
A nice pass by Hobbs to Quillen. And Quillen gets a 2, so he answers back.
And Josh, the timing of the passes that Hobbs is throwing is so impressive tonight.
And a turnover there forced by the Eagles. So here comes East Hickman. Quillen gives to Ragsdale. Out of Hobbs, high post, tough pass. And Hill lays it up and in.
And there you see it again, the passing of Hobbs. Great job. He's living around that free throw line area right now, making such a difference. Now, something about a 2-3 zone, we talk about it when Hickman County plays, we talk about them breaking it. Well, East is doing that exact thing. They're getting the ball to the middle to Hobbs. Hobbs is looking at his options. First, he looks at his shot, and then he looks at the guys going baseline. The best way to beat a zone is to flatten it out. East is flattening out the Hickman County zone right now, and it's tearing it apart.
Well, and Cam, you can attribute a lot of it to East, picking apart the zone, as you said. But I think also Hickman's offense hasn't gotten anything going so far. They've made a couple of buckets, but other than that, East defense has been playing really strong and keeping Hickman County in check.
Yeah, Josh, there's been a total lack of offensive movement and awareness, it seems, from Hickman County these last few possessions. And what do you attribute that to? Elisha Puckett hasn't been in. That plays a part of it. But that means other guys have to step up, and right now it's not looking like they're doing that.
So now after the timeout called by Coach Dawson, both teams on the floor. East has cut it back to a 6-point deficit. Hickman 30, East 24. But Hickman County will come out of the break with the ball. Worley now crosses the line, met by Yablonsky. Worley tries to check it back out, looking for help, finds McDonald. McDonald tries to drive in to no avail. Nice defense by Braxton Hill. McDonald finds Seal, but Hobbs is disruptive and tips it out, but McDonald able to secure it. Now it's a Qualls.
And Josh.
And McDonald was not watching the pass from Qualls, sails out of bounds, and these are the mental mistakes that can allow East to get right back in this game as we have just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter of play.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. And right now, Hickman County is playing almost entirely isolation ball, and that's causing all their problems. There's no ball movement. East is moving the ball precisely.
And Yablonsky tries to find Hobbs. He loses a handle of it. Brown, bounce pass. Seal over Quillen. 2 points for the Bulldogs. And the whistle blows. I think there was an exchanging of words on the floor. And they will call Dylan Qualls on a technical. And Ken, that will be Qualls' third of the game, I believe.
Yes, sir, Josh. A technical foul called there right after a shot. You can only imagine that it's because Dylan said something. And I think the refs know if they start chirping, we're going to have a rougher game. So that might have been why.
And Bailey goes 0 for 2 on his free throws. So while the foul does hurt the Bulldogs in the sense that it gets Dylan closer and closer to being fouled out, no harm done in the scoring department as Bailey unable to capitalize with the 2 free throws. And Bailey inbounds to Quillen. Such a talented ball handler is Quillen. Gives off to the left wing. That's Hill. Tough pass. Yablonsky has it tipped away by Seal. A 50-50 call there, and they say Seal knocked it out. and East will maintain possession.
And Josh, Coach Dawson screaming, don't put this on the refs, take care of it. Right now, you know, both teams, I feel, because I mentioned it earlier, both of these young teams feel like they're walking on eggshells because there's been so many fouls called, and I think that's carrying over to let them, it's affecting their play even when they're aggressive or even when they're soft. Either way, it's affecting their play, so they just need to pick up and trust themselves, play the game.
And a beautiful floater to Hobbs by Quillen. He lays it off the glass and in. And Cam, that pass, pinpoint precision. He couldn't have walked over and handed it into Hobbs' hands any better than he did right there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass, dropped it right in the bucket.
And Elisha back in the game, dribbles down the floor, and he will be fouled by Quillen. And your score now 32-26. Hickman County leads the Bulldogs, that is. And folks, while we have this little break while Elisha waits to throw it in, we wish we could provide to you a scoreboard on the screen, so I'm trying to update you as much as I possibly can. And Elisha, nice pass to Kylan Seal, 2 points for the Dogs, widen it 34-26. So Quillen crosses the line. Bounce pass to Hill at the left wing, met by Brown and Worley. Now at the free throw stripe, Bailey, bounce pass, Yablonsky, and Elisha bats it down. And Elisha dribbling in, and they get Yablonsky on the foul. And checking in now for the Eagles, number 20, Tyler Walker.
And Josh, the thing that stands out to me the most tonight, the two best players on this basketball court, Elisha Puckett and Nathan Hobbs. As
And
Brody
Worley, no good off the rim, rebounded by Hobbs. 38 seconds to go in the third quarter.
They have both crept an incredible even kill temper this whole game, and that's why both of them are playing so well. Just staying calm and in the moment.
And a great pass coast to coast by Walker, and McDonald rips it away from Hobbs. It's a break. McDonald loses a handle, just tosses up, says a prayer, no good. And Elisha gets the rebound and dribbles it back out with 15 seconds to go. Elisha wants to slow tempo just a little bit. 10 seconds. 5. Elisha drives, goes under, puts it up, and it rolls in. And number 12 gets the and one with 3 seconds to go.
And Josh, that's a huge and one. A total momentum stopper for East and a great momentum carrier for Hickman County.
So Elisha at the line with a chance for the three-point play, and he knocks it down. Here we go. And as time expires, just chucks it up there. No good, no foul called. And at the end of the third, Hickman County 37, East Hickman 26. 1 quarter remains to decide a winner in this cross-county rivalry. I promise you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the Energy Pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists?
That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back to WNKX, your home for Hickman County sports. As we begin the fourth quarter of play here in Bon Aqua, the Bulldogs 37, Eagles 26. But still 8 minutes left to play. Plenty of time for an East comeback. And Quillen pump fakes a three. Bailey does pull up. No good. Hobbs, tough rebound. tries to put it back up. He's fouled and gets the and one. So Cam, plays like that from your main man Hobbs is how you get back into this game.
Extra possessions, Josh. Extra possessions, Josh. Extra possessions are going to be how you get in this game. And there, Nathan Hobbs stepping up big.
And Worley knocks it over to Brown, who's met by a couple of Eagles, and he loses handle, and Quillen picks it up. Dribbles in. Elisha knocks it away. Hobbs picks it up. Dribbles into the paint, puts it up, no good. It's a scrap for the ball, and Hobbs comes up with it. So number 33 starting to make his mark on this game here late, and Walker loses control. It's picked up by Seal, and East picks it up after it looked like East goes right over Kylan Seal, but East able to take advantage. 7-point game, 37-30. Bulldogs still lead, but the Eagles are flying back into this one, no pun intended.
And Josh, this is the most Hickman County, East Hickman fourth quarter start I've ever seen. Just a complete mess, but an entertaining one.
Elisha taking his time, guarded by Ragsdale. Makes a move on him. Remember, no shot clock. He can burn as much time as he likes. Elisha dribbles past Ragsdale, and a quick charge call on Elisha. And that will be number 12's fourth foul of the game. So a tough break for Hickman County's number one man, but he will be having to come out for just a few moments. Tim Puckett in for him. Puckett comes in for Puckett.
Now, the energy that's going to be in this building now is going to be pretty rowdy. Elisha Puckett with 4. You know you're going to see him at some point as Will McDonald gets in the passing lane, causes a turnover.
A nice play by McDonald. Gets it out to Brown, and now the Bulldogs can move at their own pace. Under 6.5 minutes in the game. Brown in the corner, it's Tim Puckett. Dribbles up, bounce pass, McKinnon. Kicks it out, Puckett, Brown, McDonald from 3. Barrett, no, he doesn't. It rattles in and out. And it's picked up by Walker. And Cam, this rim has not been doing either team any favors here tonight.
No, sir, neither team. East in the first half had some struggles shooting. If it touched the rim at all, same thing in the second half for Hickman County.
So Hobbs here to inbound. The absolute difference maker in this game. We cannot sing that young man's praises enough for what he's done for the Eagles. Now in the corner, it's Ragsdale. Pass, Hobbs, left elbow to Quillen, met by Worley. He has to dribble back out, goes across the way, finds Hill, dribbling in, bounce pass, can't find his man Ragsdale, and it goes out of bounds. The Bulldogs take over, and in comes Dylan Qualls. He will be subbing in for Brody Worley with 5:43 to go.
And Josh, I know that there's a turnover right there, but East has done such a good job of meticulously and purposefully picking apart this zone. If that wasn't a turnover right there, it was an easy layup.
Qualls up top, met by Quillen. Finds Brown, nice move, gets around Hill. Pump fakes, puts it up, and lays it in, does Braden Brown. Braden Brown so shifty for a man his size.
And a wonderful move there by Brown, having the patience and keeping his feet down for it not to be a walk.
Hill dribbles in, looking for help. Tim Puckett covers it. Quillen dribbles in hard. Mid-range, off the back of the rim, tough break for Quillen. And Hobbs scrapping for it, couldn't get it back as Qualls picks it up and gives to McDonald. Moving down the floor in a hurry. In the corner, it's Tim Puckett. Now to Qualls, to Brown. Back out to Qualls. Under 5 minutes to play. And Hill playing tough defense on McDonald, who hands it off to Brown, and Brown dribbles it back out near the midcourt stripe and then dishes over to Qualls. Qualls on the baseline, kicks it. Brown from 3, no good again. The rim is his own biggest enemy here tonight, as it's been for so many others on both sides. No good, and East with a chance to cut into this 9-point deficit. Hobbs, the right wing, met by Qualls. Tough pass. Finds Walker, spin move, lays it up and can't get it to fall, and McKinnon comes out with it and gives it to Braden Brown. And Brown is fouled. I believe they'll get Ragsdale.
And a great job there by Tyler McKinnon to not jump when that shot went up earlier, to stay disciplined, to stay down. That was a great job, because that would have been his fourth if he went up after it, and that would have been a big foul in East's favor. So great discipline there, and East just, it seems like they are so close every time, and they just can't find the way to finish it off right.
And a pass by Qualls, nothing there, picked up by the Eagles. Quillen in a hurry down the floor. Nice move, puts it up and over the glass, no good. And Cam, if you're the Eagles, a timeout is called here on the floor, but if you're the Eagles, Cam, you need to figure out how to chain multiple good plays together. We've seen the Bulldogs do this in several games where they've been so close to coming back, but they just can't chain two good things in a row. They'll do something phenomenal, then turn around and give up the most devastating maneuver you've seen in your life.
Yeah, Josh, if I'm Coach Matney, I am getting whatever needs to happen to get the ball in that half of the court, and then I'm throwing the ball to Hobbs. I don't, right now, there is nobody in this game that has made a bigger impact on the success of the team than Nathan Hobbs tonight, Josh. He's been so impressive the way he's controlled the offense. Josh, if he was in the foul trouble that he was in the first half, I think we're looking at a 15 to 20 point game. We're looking at a 9-point game that they have been in the whole time, because Nathan has now been playing discipline and understanding his spots. I have loved watching this young man pass the basketball. He could have walked out of here with 0 points tonight, but passed the way he has passed, and I would have said he was played the best tonight.
And I hate to state the obvious, but something that Nathan Hobbs does really well, whenever he goes up in the paint, since he has the strength advantage on probably everyone on both teams, I mean, it forces guys to foul when they're desperate. So if either he's making a layup underneath or he's going to the line. But Hickman County with the ball coming out of the timeout. Qualls up top. Elisha Puckett back in the game. And he is the man with the ball. Under 3.5 to go. Brown being met by Braxton Hill. Tries to dribble around him. Hill playing tough defense. And Brown able to get it away to Elisha. Finds Qualls. And we are in the clock-burning segment of this game as Hickman tries to wear those numbers down on the scoreboard. And Qualls is fouled by Quillen and Cam. Quillen being the primary ball handler, 4th foul of the game, so he has to be careful.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. But, he has been such a good initiator on offense for the Eagles.
And Tyler Walker fouls McDonald, who tried to charge in to the lane to get some 2 points there, but unable to do so, and Hickman County will maintain possession of the ball. Only Walker's 2nd foul of the game. He has been getting a lot of minutes here tonight, and Elisha met by Ragsdale. Gives over to McDonald.
And Josh, Hickman County tonight, I don't care which way you stack it up, as another foul there on Tyler Walker, his 3rd. Hickman County, there is one glaring problem tonight. You have 0 movement off ball. You are pure isolation tonight. Josh, they might win this game, but it's not winning basketball. You know what I mean? I want to see something where they get movement going. They get understanding of what's going on. But who has done a great job of that? East. East has played amazing team basketball tonight.
Elisha now with the ball up top, met by Ragsdale. He gives over to Brown. And McDonald shuffles the feet, called for the walk. So maybe that's what the Eagles need, Cam, to get back into this game, some self-inflicted wounds by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and look, Josh, winning a team sport is a perfect balance of luck and skill, right? Anytime that you succeed in a game, there is a bit of luck, whether you like it or not. Now, some people call it a bit of luck. Some people call it physics, right? There's the perfect physics. You know, I heard somebody talking one time. They were talking about baseball, and they said baseball is not a game of luck. Baseball is a game of physics. If you hit the ball at the right physics, then you succeed. Well, Josh, you know what that statement sounds like to me? It sounds like luck. That's what sounds like the definition of luck to me. So, it is always having the right mix of luck and success. But something that I think has elevated this game, and I know I keep saying it over and over and over, but the play of these two seniors, Elisha Puckett and Nathan Hobbs, heck, I'd pay $20 to watch them play one-on-one.
As would I, Cam, and that's what makes these kind of games so special. Not only do you have the crowd involved, but you have the level of talent involved as well. So East starts it off following the timeout. Quillen, guarded by Elisha. Bounce pass, Hill puts it up, and McKinnon just puts his big paw up there and says, not today. And Elisha to Brown, up the floor, off the glass and in. Braden Brown just so fast. It's hard for anybody to keep up with him. Now the Eagles looking to answer here quick. Quillen dribbles in, puts it up, and Elisha bats it down. Qualls picks it up. And Ragsdale runs down Qualls, forces him to be uncomfortable, and he's fouled. So a nice job of pursuit there by the Eagles. Although it did end in a foul, they prevented Qualls from the easy two.
Yeah, Josh, a good job there. But if I'm Dylan, I have to know where the defense is around me. I have to fill them out. And something that Elisha does really well, and the young man Slaughter that played at Santa Fe, as Qualls knocks down his first, he especially did very well, is feeling the defense as you go down the court. You don't have to be the first one down, you have to be the best one down.
So Qualls, number 2 on the way, and he got it. So they widen it to a 13-point game, 43-30. Bulldogs lead. There's Hobbs up top. Looking for someone to dish it off to, but now dribbles. Dribbles in hard on McKinnon, puts it up, and McKinnon bats it down. But a nice save by Hobbs to keep it into Ragsdale. And Hill goes to the basket and is fouled by Brown and Cam. That is what you pay the price of admission. Big man on big men, a battle of titans, King Kong versus Godzilla in the paint. And that's what we saw right there.
Josh, I thought that was just some classic 90s basketball banging down low.
And Bailey inbounds in the corner to Quillen. Gives over to Ragsdale. Ragsdale dribbles in hard. Reverse layup, no good. But the whistle is blown, and it will be Hickman County ball. So just over a minute left to play. Things looking dire here, Cam, for East Hickman.
Yeah, Josh, they got to start manufacturing some open shots and take them when you have them.
And Brown with the takeaway up the floor. McDonald pulls up at the three-point line and gives to Elisha. You got to think we're in foul territory now for the Eagles. Yes, they are. And they'll get Will Hobbs. That's Nathan Hobbs, rather. Did I say Will? I was thinking of Will McDonald combined with Nathan Hobbs. That's my bad. That's my bad. I may have done that several times tonight. If I have, I apologize. It's easy to get scatterbrained, Cam, because everyone's feeling the electricity, not just the players or the fans, we are as well. As Elisha Puckett knocks down free throw number 1 to make it a 14-point game. But Cam, what I've also enjoyed about Nathan Hobbs is with his physical, aggressive gameplay, he isn't fouling just a whole lot.
Yeah, he got in that fouling trouble in the first half, and that wasn't really on him, I'm going to be honest. Those couple of fouls in the first quarter as a deep three from Quillen.
No good by Quillen. And Cam, if you're East, that's sort of what you have to do, right? You're trailing by 15, less than a minute. You have to start putting up threes and hoping they start falling. Unfortunately for East right there, Quillen unable to capitalize, and they have to foul, and that will send the Bulldogs to the line.
Well, Josh, you want threes, but you want quality threes. That one was just kind of a chuck it up there, right? You want to be in rhythm, take a good shot type of three. Now, does it have to be in a hurry? Yes. But it's who's taking it, where they're taking it from, and why they're taking it.
And Will McDonald misses his first free throw. But Cam, some of the fans have started to file out here in this game today. Of course, some have already lost hope that this game is already decided. But you know, neither of these teams will quit until the clock hits 0. The ball gets away. McDonald picks it up, goes up, reverse layup, no good, but he's fouled by number 2, Braxton Hill.
Now, Josh, I don't know about you, but personally, I really wanted Will McDonald. Will had one thing on his mind driving right there. It was, I'm getting to this bucket. But I would have loved, he would have looked to the right just a little bit and saw Dylan Qualls flying in, throwing an oop right there. I don't care who you are. I don't care what team you root for. An alley-oop is one of the coolest things in the world.
I'd have to agree with you there, Cam. McDonald goes 2 for 2 on his free throws, following the Braxton Hill shooting foul. 48-30 your score. Bulldogs lead. And they will get Braden Brown on the foul as Ragsdale tried to drive in.
Braden Brown, that's his second.
And it was not a shooting foul, so East will be inbounding it from the floor. And a timeout will be called with 38.3 seconds to go in this game. So Cam, it has been an absolute pleasure to call this game alongside you. This is a game that I have been looking forward to the most all season. I know a lot of these fans have. Of course, me and you being Hickman County High School alumni, it's always easy for us to look at the Bulldogs, think that's our school, but of course here at WNKX, here in this community, we're just looking for a good, fun, energetic basketball game, right? For us, it doesn't matter. We're just looking to see these young men play their hearts out and give it all on the floor, and this is certainly what they've been doing. Of course, guys like Nathan Hobbs, guys like Dakota Ragsdale, Silas Quillen, Braxton Hill, so many more for East. And on the Hickman County side, you've had Braden Brown, who's been hustling up and down the floor. Same with Will McDonald, Dylan Qualls, and Elisha Puckett leading and scoring as we're accustomed to. Mid-range shot by East, no good. Picked up by Brown. We have less than 30 seconds, and Elisha looking to slow it down. Gives it back out to McDonald. McDonald dribbling around. Under 20 seconds. McDonald dribbles in, kicks it out to Qualls. And Qualls will sit on it. And with 6 seconds, time will expire here in Bon Aqua. And the winner of the boys' cross-county rivalry is the Hickman County Bulldogs. But Cam, if you're Hickman County, you can't dwell on this victory too much because in the not too distant future, these two teams will be doing battle again. But this time, they will be doing battle in Centerville. Now, I'm curious to see how that changes things. Right, we saw how hostile the environment was in here for the Bulldogs. And I can imagine it will be exactly like that, but for the Eagles when it's time to go to Centerville. But Cam, if the games here tonight were any indication of what we're getting when we go back to Centerville, I already cannot wait. I am marking my calendar for when these two teams can go at it.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. It was a what? An 18-point game, I believe, at the end of it. But, Josh, it did not feel like an 18-point game. It was, I want to say 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Hickman County pulled away, took care of business. But there is nothing that East should feel disappointed about in this game. I think the factor of Nathan Hobbs not getting to play much in the first half definitely played a huge role in that. Him getting in foul trouble, getting himself in a tough situation, not an easy thing to deal with, not an easy thing to do as a coach, as a player. But Hickman County took advantage of that. They got their lead that they needed while Nathan wasn't in and took care of business as they needed.
Yeah, Cam, I'm with you 100% there. Nothing to hang your head about if you're East Hickman. I mean, you came out, played a competitive ball game, and how they started off in the first quarter, I think that's a sign of what East could be, right? They do fall to 9-10 here tonight, but still a lot of basketball to be played for these Eagles. Still time to make a run, to find yourself back over 500, and then to hopefully make a run when it comes time for districts, right? We saw these two teams go to war last season. Now, are the rosters different? Absolutely. But they're still equally talented. A lot of good playmakers both ways. Of course, looking at East, Nathan Hobbs, you see Silas Quillen, Braxton Hill, Stephen Bailey. Really, they're starting five. Or just really talented young men here tonight. But if you look at their bench, you saw Yablonsky, you saw Walker, you saw even Carter Goodwin come in, who Goodwin is a freshman, right? He got some minutes here tonight. So you have to think Coach Matney is liking what he sees from his guys. You have to ignore the record. You have to look ahead and take it one game at a time if you're the Eagles.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. And there is nothing about this game. Again, there's nothing about this game to be disappointed in. The only thing is to clean up, right? To limit the mistakes. And I think that goes for both sides. If I'm Hickman County, what am I doing in the future? I am running some offense, Josh. It was stagnant tonight. It was not enough backside movement. It was a sloppy game that they got away with, in my opinion. They did not look great. And East tonight, you know, I guess it would almost be the same story for both teams. Who's going to emerge as a second option, right? And Ragsdale, Dakota Ragsdale tonight for East, very impressed me a ton. The way that he operated as a senior, the way he ran things, he brought a stability to the floor that I really appreciated.
Absolutely, Cam. And then we look over to the Hickman County end. Hickman County advances to 10-7 on the year. Probably not the kind of year that Coach Dawson would like. I mean, hypothetically, you want to go undefeated every season. But there's still 3 games over 500. A big win here tonight against a big rival. That can give you a lot of momentum going forward. The next game these Bulldogs play, Tuesday next week, the 21st of January, they'll be at Lewis County, right? So out of the furnace into the fire, I suppose, or out of the frying pan, or however the saying goes. They're going from one dangerous place to another, of course, against a Lewis County team who has also been a big rival of Hickman's. None of those games are easy, no matter what the sport is, right? We know our time playing baseball, playing Lewis County was always an uphill battle. So Hickman County is expecting something similar, I'm sure, next Tuesday. But looking at the scoreboards here, Cam Braden Brown, 6 points from him here tonight. And a great job of him. He hustled every minute he was out there on the floor. He even picked up some rebounds when he was giving up several inches to a lot of the other players on the floor. So a great job by Braden Brown. Tim Puckett got some minutes as well, the junior. Made a big 3. Now, you look at the score sheet and say he made 1 shot. Why is that so impressive? The time you make shots, especially 3-pointers in a rivalry game, that fires up a crowd. That elevates the guys around you. So a lot of credit to Tim for silencing the noise, making that big shot. Then Will McDonald only had a 2-point basket, I believe, and he had 3 of his points, if not more, come from the free throw line. So a nice job by Will to not let the moment get too big and make the free ones that were given to him. Qualls had a few points. And then Elisha Puckett, what else can we say? Another 15-plus point performance for Elisha Puckett. And then Tyler McKinnon got involved in Kylan Seal and Man Cam. We talked about this earlier. That Tyler McKinnon, Nathan Hobbs battle in the paint, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. I loved every second of it. I will say this, Josh. You know, coming from Hickman County, you're taught to not, you know, East is your rival, and we know that, right? But personally, I always put that way in the back of my memory. I could care less. We're from the same county. We represent the same things. You know who doesn't? Lewis County. I can't stand Lewis County. I can't stand Lewis County, Josh. And I want to go in and I want to take this game and I want to refine what Hickman County has done and go in to Lewis County and absolutely annihilate them because I can't stand them. That, you know, when you're from Centerville, you know, you're told that blue is bad. You know what's worse, Josh? Black and yellow. I can't stand that stupid black and yellow. And I think everyone in Hickman County can agree on that. You want to go in and you want to beat Homewall. Whatever it takes, Josh. I'm sorry, I'm fired up. But, man, you know, putting whatever side of this county you're on, you put it aside when you see that yellow and black, and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
And that's what rivalries mean to those at Hickman County. Of course, a lot of passion, not only from its players, its fans, but its broadcasters as well. So, of course, we're very excited for that game in Lewis County. And, Cam, what's interesting about Lewis, it is about a 40-minute drive probably from Hickman, give or take.
Honestly, it's about – I always thought it was about – well, I don't know. I drive pretty fast, so I was thinking 30, but we can meet in the middle, 35.
But this trip you take to Lewis County, I know a lot of students in Lewis, and it was like this when we were there as well. There's a lot of connections made between the Lewis County school system and that of Hickman County. So a lot of personal relationships going into this game might have some impact, not only on how the fans react and how the players play. So I think it'll be a phenomenal game on Tuesday. We'll be making the trip down to Lewis County, and we're just hoping for a good one, hoping for a Bulldog victory. But for tonight, we were just hoping to see a good game as WNKX represents both Hickman and East. And that's exactly what we got here tonight. So congratulations to the East Hickman Eagles for taking home the victory in the girls' game, and a congratulations to the Bulldogs for taking home the boys' game. Now, folks, we appreciate you joining us here tonight for myself, Josh Copley, and Cameron Peters, and all of our antics that we've had. A very special thank you to John Michael Lewis, who is our producer and cameraman for the night. He always does such a great job. And a very special thank you to Will Nunley, our overseer, my boss. He does such a wonderful job as well, and this doesn't go without him. But folks, none of this truly happens without you and your support and the support of our sponsors. So folks, we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for joining us. Good night.